Chapter 372. Yes, it seems so. Why? Chuning asked. He is the mayor of a poor county. He should be very busy. Why does he stay in Jing all day? Wang Yao asked curiously. He is a deputy mayor. I heard that his main job is to attract investment. Everyone knows about his connections in the officialdom. Therefore, his main job is to come to Jing City to collect funds, Chuning said. In China, it was not uncommon to collect funds for projects. Oh, no wonder. Wang Yao suddenly understood. He could clearly feel that Gui Zhenghe was trying to get close to him with a purpose. He did not like this feeling. What does he want to do? Wang Yao did not think too much about this kind of thing. He just made up his mind to keep an appropriate distance from Gui Zhenghe in the future. The more he spent time with Gui Zhenghe, the more he felt that Gui Zhenghe had too many ideas. It was not easy to detect that Gui Zhenghe was full of schemes under his sunny appearance. The next day, the temperature dropped by 7 or 8 degrees in just one night. It suddenly felt like late autumn. This is autumn. This was Wang Yao's feeling. Looking at the yellow leaves in the small courtyard that began to wither, he thought of Nanshan Hill. I wonder how the trees and herbs on Nanshan Hill are doing. Are my parents tired? There's also the dog, the goshawk, the snake. In just 3 or 4 days, Wang Yao began to miss the mountain village and Nanshan Hill. In a mountain village thousands of miles away, why is he still going out? An old man looked at the sign hanging on the wooden door. Yes, I know, the old man said. They were not the first wave of people to meet the door. Where did Dr. Wang go? It is not easy to come all the way here. Wang Yao did not know that in the mountain village, more than a dozen people had come to see him for treatment. In the end, they all went back with disappointment, including Chun Changfeng. Chief Chun, he is not here. Where did he go? Well, asked his parents. It seems that he went to Jing. Jing? Chun Changfeng was silent for a moment. Did he say when he will come back? I'm not sure. It should be around a week. Today is the 4th day, his secretary said. That will be soon. All right, you should come here more often, but don't disturb his family. Yes, Chief Chun. I say this Fenghua family's boy seems to have some skills. These 2 days, a lot of people have come to him for treatment. Well, I also saw a few cars coming. Why don't I go take a look at my old legs someday? I don't want you to be crippled. It was already autumn. After harvesting the peanuts and breaking the corn, there wasn't much work to do. Thus, they had more time to chat. There are more and more people coming to ask about Yao recently. I wonder how Yao is doing in Beijing. At home, Wang Yao's mother and father were chatting about their son. As the saying goes, when a son travels thousands of miles, his mother worries. It had only been a few days, but she had already started to miss her son. She didn't feel anything when she was at home every day. It's okay. Don't talk too much. Wang Fenghua was still the same. He had a cigarette in his mouth and didn't talk much. Since the herbal field on Nanshan Hill had taken shape, he didn't ask much about his son. Let him do his own thing. He felt that his son had grown up and had his own ideas and career. As long as he could live a good life and didn't do anything illegal, he wouldn't care too much. They couldn't help much. In Jing, the autumn wind was a bit cold. The sky was a bit gloomy. Walking in the 1,000-year-old alley, Wang Yao felt a bit bleak. I like this autumn. Wang Yao looked up at the sky and said such a sentence for no reason. Chuning was stunned. Let's go. Wang Yao smiled. The Su family still had the same treatment. In the past few days, Su Xiaoxue had clearly felt the changes in her body. They were real changes. She could feel the changes every day. The changes that took place in this day were even greater than the changes in the past 10 days. It was amazing. Not only was her body changing, but there was also another change in her body. The neishi in her body seemed to have increased a little. Very good. After checking, Wang Yao said. At the same time, he also found the changes in the neishi in her body. This was easy to explain. Although part of the neishi was used to repair her body, there was still a small part remaining in her body. However, Su Xiaoxue didn't know how to guide the neishi, so she couldn't smoothly guide part of the neishi. Originally, the neishi was an ownerless thing. As time went by, most of it would dissipate and become something similar to energy nutrients integrated into her body. There would also be a small part of it integrated with the neishi in her body that couldn't be controlled, becoming one and increasing a little. The neishi is wonderful. You could try to mobilize it. How do I mobilize it? Su Xiaoxue was puzzled. Ha ha. It is now a part of your body. Use your thoughts, Wang Yao said with a smile. It sounded difficult to understand, but it was true. It was like a newborn baby trying to put his hand into his mouth at 3 months old. However, most of the time he would fail. You see, in the beginning, people couldn't smoothly control their arms. This required practice, and it was a long-term practice. Only then could one be as relaxed and free as Wang Yao. Well, can I try? Okay. Wang Yao had the specific method of guiding the qi, but he couldn't teach it to others for the time being because it belonged to the system. It was too mysterious and couldn't be taught easily. When the treatment was finished, it was already past 2 p.m. A guest came to the Su family's house. Wang Yao also knew this person. It was Dr. Chun. Hey, hello, young friend. Hello. I just finished the treatment. Yes. In the past few days, Chun Lao had been visiting Song Rupeeing more diligently because Su Xiaoxue's recovery was too fast. It was beyond his imagination. However, he was worried about Song Rupeeing. Song Rupeeing said that she would use the same treatment as before. Of course, she wouldn't tell him about it. Oh, it's a pity that I came a little at a bad time. I wanted to learn from you, Dr. Chun said with a smile. You were joking. Wang Yao didn't dare to be arrogant. Although he might have a unique advantage over Dr. Chun in some aspects, Dr. Chin's decades of experience was definitely not something he could compare with. Moreover, Wang Yao was a humble person who didn't like to be ostentatious. Let's do it another day. Okay. After chatting with Dr. Chun for a while, Wang Yao left. Chining left a little earlier than him. She estimated that he would be back soon. Lunch was ready. You're back. Yes. Is Xiaoxue better? Much better. The meal is ready. Eat it while it's hot. Okay. There were a few simple hot dishes that tasted refreshing. Not to mention other things. Just the cooking skills alone were comparable to that of a general hotel chef. Before you came back, someone was here. Oh, Wu Xiuxian. You don't know her. Chuning said an unfamiliar name. Well, I don't know her. I have never heard of this name. But she knew you. She didn't stay long after she heard you went out. By the way, she left a few things. Chuning pointed to the side. What is it? Wang Yao looked at the several exquisite gift boxes. Tea. Wui rock tea. Oh. Wang Yao was not too surprised. Mr. Wu's family is not ordinary, right? Yes, he is from a rich family. Well, I hope it won't be trouble this time, Wang Yao said softly. There was nothing to do in the afternoon. Under Chen Ying's lead, Wang Yao went to several of the most famous and oldest pharmacies in Beijing. They were not as old as Tongren Medicine Hall, which had a considerable history. He originally wanted to see the internal situation of the pharmacies, specifically the processing of the medicinal herbs. In the end, he did not see anything. He was already mentally prepared for this. After all, it was the core technology of the pharmacies. However, the century-old pharmacies still had a foundation. After coming out, Chuning asked curiously, "Do you want to see their pharmaceutical methods?" "Yes, I want to see. I may be able to think of a way," Chuning said. "Is that possible?" "Yes. I can only say that I will try," Chuning said with a smile. Wang Yao knew that since Chuning said so, she could basically solve this kind of problem. "Okay, I would like to see this. I will go back and ask." "Okay, thank you." Such old pharmacies actually had their own core technology. Some of the old prescriptions, from the preparation of medicinal herbs to the preparation of the medicinal herbs, were strictly confidential. This was also the foundation of these old pharmacies. Let's go to the Great Wall. Now. Chuning looked at the somewhat dark sky. Yes, now, Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay, let's go. The Great Wall was in the suburbs. There was still a considerable distance from where they were now. Wang Yao wanted to go and see it purely on a whim. Last time, on a whim, he went to the Great Wall at night and punched the sky with a punch. Since then, he had made great progress in his boxing skills. This time, he wanted to go there again for no reason. Perhaps he would have an unexpected gain again. As it was almost time to get off work, there were more cars on the road. The traffic jam was more serious. When they finally reached the suburbs, the sky started to drizzle. "It's raining." Chen was stunned. "What's wrong?" Wang Yao said. He liked rain, whether it was the fine spring rain or the continuous autumn rain. "Nothing." Chen smiled. The reason why she said so was that there was no umbrella in the car. To be precise, there was only a broken umbrella. It was broken the last time she used it. She forgot to replace it. In this case, if they wanted to go out, they would have to be drenched in the rain. Moreover, they were already in the suburbs. She just hoped that there would be a shop under the Great Wall where she could buy 2 umbrellas. Chapter 373. By the time the car reached the outskirts of the city and reached the foot of the Great Wall, it was completely dark. Due to the weather and the time, several nearby shops had already closed. However, the rain was still falling. "What? It's fine." Wang Yao directly got out of the car. The moment he got out of the car, he thought of something. He released his neishi. Suddenly, a layer of qi wrapped around his body. A few drops of rain fell on his body. Then, as if they had hit an invisible wall, they bounced off and slid down. "What?" When Chen saw this scene, she was stunned. When the raindrops were about 10 centimeters away from Wang Yao's body, they were blocked by something. They couldn't fall on his body at all. His clothes were dry. "Wait for me in the car." Wang Yao turned around and said to Chen. "Okay," she answered almost subconsciously. "Get in the car. Don't be outside in the rain." "Okay." After Chen got into the car, Wang Yao turned around and walked to the Great Wall on the hill in the distance. At this time, no one would go to the Great Wall. Moreover, it was getting late. Therefore, the ticket office and other places were closed. These things naturally couldn't stop Wang Yao. He jumped over with a light jump. After returning to the car, Chen looked at Wang Yao's back as he disappeared. This man had given her too many surprises. Logically speaking, she shouldn't be surprised anymore. She should be used to it. However, the current situation still surprised her. After all, this kind of thing was something that she had heard of, but that was in a movie. Seeing it in real life with her own eyes was a different thing. After the shock, she had a lot of questions. How far had he gone in this aspect? The rain had just started not long ago. It had just wet the ground. The Great Wall was empty. There were no tourists. There was no sound except the whistling of the wind. Wang Yao climbed up the city gate tower in the rain. He looked into the distance from the top of the tower. In the wind and rain, he stood alone. He released his neishi to communicate with heaven and earth. He felt that between heaven and earth, the rain was falling and the wind was howling. This was the breath of heaven and earth. His neishi was like threads that seeped into heaven and earth, connecting with the wind and rain, or rather, communicating with them. This process was neither fast nor slow. Then he felt that the wind and rain between heaven and earth had become even more intimate, so intimate that he seemed to be able to control it and change it. "Come on." With a wave of his hand, the wind and rain from all directions began to gather towards him. From afar, this was a very unique scene. Wang Yao was like a huge magnet, attracting the wind and rain around him to gather towards him. Then the wind and rain spun, forming a small tornado of wind and rain, and he himself was in the center of the tornado. Fortunately, it was dark and they were in the wilderness. There was no one else around. No, there was one person. This is, wearing a coat, Chen, who came up from the bottom of the mountain, happened to see the shocking scene. Wang Yao stood on top of the city gate tower, calling the wind and summoning the rain. That's right, from afar, it looked like he was summoning the wind and summoning the rain. How could this be? Chen stood there in a daze, letting the cold raindrops fall on his face. He was absent-minded for a long time. In the wind and rain, Wang Yao stood on top of the city gate tower, and then his body moved slowly. The wind and rain also moved together with him. He felt that his control of the wind and rain was becoming clearer and more proficient. The wind and rain between heaven and earth seemed to be his friends, his playmates, and another form of existence of his neishi. Open. He slowly and heavily moved his palm. The rain curtain was then pushed away by an invisible force, forming an empty area. Gather. As he put his hands together, the wind and rain gathered in his hands, forming a water ball. Go. He casually pushed the water ball out, hitting it in the air, and then burst like a balloon, bursting, splashing water everywhere. The rain was still falling. Wang Yao had dispersed his nashi. Chuning went up to the city gate tower. Didn't I ask you to wait below? Come up and have a look. Chuning was stunned and came to his senses. Your clothes are all wet. It doesn't matter. Wang Yao stood in the wind and rain for a while, as if he still wanted to feel it. Not bad. Very good, he said softly. Let's go. Don't get a cold from the rain. Wang Yao smiled. Okay. Feeling the change in Chunying's mood, Wang Yao asked with a smile, what's wrong? Chunying hesitated and said, nothing. I'm just too surprised. You saw it? Yes, I saw it. It's simply unimaginable. Ha! Wang Yao smiled slightly. What is it? Well, I don't know how to say it, but this matter, as long as you know it, it's fine. Don't worry about that, Chunying said. After going down the mountain, Wang Yao turned his head to look at the Great Wall behind him. This seemed to be a blessed place for him. Some things needed to rely on opportunities. After getting in the car, Wang Yao did not say anything, and Chunying did not ask anything. You must be hungry. Let me treat you to something to eat. Wang Yao looked at the time. It was almost 8:30. Okay, what do you want to eat? Anything. Then let's choose a better restaurant. Chunying chose a restaurant and stopped. It was very clean. The peak hour had passed, so there were not many people. The dishes were cooked quickly. If you have any questions, just ask. Wang Yao smiled and said to Chunying. He could see that Chunying had not recovered from the shock until now. What is that? Taoism? Taoism. Wang Yao thought for a while. Well, you can say that. Taoism was to communicate with heaven and earth, move the clouds, and summon the rain. It had an unfathomable mystery. Wang Yao could only communicate with heaven and earth on the Great Wall and summon the wind and rain. That was all. Sir, do you accept a disciple? Wang Yao was stunned. To be honest, I haven't thought about this. Chunying smiled after hearing that. Do you want to learn? To be honest, as long as one is not a fool, he or she would want to learn your ability. Chunying was telling the truth. If it were anyone else, as long as they saw his ability, they would definitely want to learn from him. Let me think about it, Wang Yao said. After dinner, they returned to the small courtyard. Someone has been here. Chunying, who was careful, found some clues and concluded that someone had been to the small courtyard. Isn't the door locked? Well, I'll go to your room first. The two entered Wang Yao's room together, but they did not find anything. Wang Yao only carried some clothes with him. In addition, the medicine and precious scriptures were in the grid attached to the system. They were not placed in the room by him. This was to prevent something like this from happening. It seems that no one has been here. No, someone has been here, Wang Yao said with certainty. Yes. Chunying did not find any clues, but Wang Yao smelled a faint smell from the air. It did not come from him or Chunying. This person should be very professional. I'll tell Madam about this. Okay. Wang Yao had expected such a thing to happen before he came, but it did not happen the first 2 times he came. He really did not expect such an accident to happen this time. Fortunately, nothing was lost. Who is it? In a clubhouse in Jing. Is there nothing? Yes, except for a few changes of clothes with him, there is nothing. How is that possible? Why is it not possible? He is treating Su Xiaoxue. He should have brought medicine and acupuncture needles. Does he carry these things with him? It is possible. No, not at all. When he went in and out of Su Xiaoxue's house, he only brought a bottle of medicine. That's all. Well, that's strange. What does he use to treat her? In the dim light, there were 3 people. One was smoking, one was drinking tea, and one was looking out of the window. Will the people we sent out be found out? Don't worry about that. Absolutely not. Su Xiaoxue's family is like the sun at noon. It is still rising. If we offend them at this time, it will be very troublesome. No, the people I sent out are absolutely professional. That's good. That's good. The next morning, Chunying reported what had happened in the small courtyard to Su Xiaoxue. What? A thief has broken in? After hearing the news, Song Ruiping was very surprised. Where was this place? It was the core area of Jing. What kind of place was that? A thief had broken into Su Xiaoxue's house, and the target was very clear. It was Wang Yao. Song Ruiping paced back and forth in the living room. The more she thought about it, the more she felt something was wrong. So, she called Chening and asked her to come over. Madam just called and asked me to go over. She should ask about the person who broke in last night. Okay, go ahead, Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay, forgive me for asking, but have you ever made enemies with anyone in the capital? Chening asked before he left. Well, I haven't, Wang Yao said after thinking carefully. He had come into contact with very few people since he came to Jing. He didn't remember offending anyone. I know. Chening went to Su Xiaoshue's house as quickly as possible. Madam, did someone break into the small courtyard yesterday? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. In fact, she couldn't be sure because she had absolute trust in Wang Yao's judgment. Did Dr. Wang offend anyone in Jing? As far as I know, no one can go there. Even if he offended someone, that place is not a place where anyone can go as they wish, Chuning said. That's strange, Song Ruaping said. Madam, could it be that someone wanted to steal medicine? Medicine? Song Ruaping's eyes lit up. Yes. What is the most precious thing about Dr. Wang? It is undoubtedly his medical skills and the magical medicine he brought. Her daughter's illness was not a complete secret. At least many people in her circle knew about it. Some people also knew that her condition was getting better quickly. Many people came to inquire about it. They asked where the doctor was and whether they could recommend him. However, she tried to find a way to reject them. Chapter 374. What was this? Did he do it in the dark? The more Song Ruaping thought about it, the more she felt that this was very likely. Well, I got it. You can go back and talk to Dr. Wang. I will give him a satisfactory answer. I promise it won't happen again. Yes, Ma, I am. After Chuning went back, she told Wang Yao what Song Ruaping said. Sir, you can rest assured that this kind of thing will never happen again. Haha, I have nothing to worry about, Wang Yao said with a smile. Firstly, he didn't lose anything important. Secondly, he didn't suffer any injuries. Even if someone wanted to hurt him with his current cultivation, even if the other party carried a submachine gun and a few grenades, it was still unknown whether he could be hurt. That's good. Now, she really hoped that Wang Yao could stay in Beijing for a few more days, mainly because her brother had obvious improvements after Wang Yao's 2 treatments. This made her very happy. If there was anything in the world that she could not let go of, it was her brother. In the past 2 days, Wang Yao had shown her things that she had not dared to think about before. It also made her see another possibility that she had yearned for. Sir, this is the method of breathing that I practice. Take a look. After returning from the Su family, Chuning handed the method of breathing that she had practiced for more than 10 years to Wang Yao. She hoped that he could solve the problem of her breathing divergence. I don't think there's a problem with this, right? Wang Yao asked as he looked at the paper that was not opened. Yes, it was a piece of paper. The method of breathing was just a simple piece of paper. It was not a martial arts secret book like what was described on TV and in novels. No problem. I have already talked to the sect. Okay, I'll take a look first. As Wang Yao spoke, he opened the paper and carefully read the method of breathing recorded on it. This was Wang Yao's evaluation. If Chun Ying's disciples knew about his evaluation, they would probably be quite dissatisfied. However, Wang Yao did think so. He had no choice. Up until now, he had only come into contact with 2 types of breathing methods. One was from the natural classics. There was a breathing valve in the Daoyin technique, which was a gift from the system. It was a scripture that did not exist in reality. The content of the scripture was naturally very mysterious, and the method of cultivation was also extraordinary. Chun Ying's method could only be regarded as a beginner's method. It was very simple, and there were still some shortcomings. That's right, it was insufficient. Wang Yao had only read it once and compared it to his own cultivation. He felt that this breathing technique was incomplete. Wait a moment, he said to Chun Ying, who was standing quietly at the side. Okay, then I won't disturb you, Chun Ying said, and went to do her own work. Wang Yao, on the other hand, was studying the contents of the paper. It could be changed. In just half a day, he made such a judgment. This was because he had practiced the breathing technique several times and basically found the problem. It sounded very simple, but this was his innate advantage. It was like a high school student solving addition and subtraction for a primary school student. As long as his brain was not damaged, it was basically very simple. What can be changed? Qining was stunned after hearing Wang Yao's words. What's wrong? No, nothing. As far as she knew, the things on the paper were at least 100 years old. For 100 years, generations of disciples in her sect practiced according to this method, and there were some famous people. Of course, ordinary people did not know these people, but they had some reputation in Jianghu. They practiced according to it. Perhaps no one had ever questioned it, let alone wanted to change it. How long will it take? I've almost thought about it. I'll tell you, and you can give it a try. Almost. Qining was stunned again. Haha, it's not as responsible as you think. The main thing is that pharmacists are very clear about the meridians of the human body. Some of the places where you guide the qi are not detailed enough, and some parts are broken in the middle. It should be fine as long as you store it. Wang Yao took a pen and added a few more things on the piece of paper and changed a few points. Okay, go back and try. I think it should be effective. If there are any problems, stop in time and tell me. Okay. Qining took the things changed by Wang Yao back to her room. She carefully read them several times and memorized them in her mind. Then, she carefully put the paper away. Then, she began to practice in the room. The method of breathing exercises sounded very sophisticated, but in fact, it was very boring to practice. It required a lot of concentration, and the results could not be seen in a short period of time. Even if Wang Yao had made some improvements, and his improvements were correct, it would take a while for Qining to see the results. Of course, if his changes were wrong, the time it would take might be slightly shorter. In a clubhouse in Beijing, the purpose of these high-end places seemed to be to provide a lot of disturbance for some high-ranking officials and dignitaries to talk. Of course, there were some things that could not be seen in public. What? Has the Su family found out? Yes, the Su family has started to investigate. TSK, this is troublesome. Didn't you say that the person you found was absolutely reliable and would not have any problems? Of course, this kind of thing can't be 100% guaranteed, but they haven't found anything yet. With the Su family's ability and means, as long as they investigate, they will definitely find out. Don't forget, there are only a few people who know about this matter. What should we do? Let me think about it. A man hid in the shadows and looked out of the window. This is really troublesome and nerve-wracking. The sky gradually darkened. Qining went out and had not returned yet. Wang Yao was in the room thinking about how to complete the task. The task of spreading his name thousands of miles away was very wide for him. He knew a few people thousands of miles away. Now that he was in Beijing, it was an opportunity. He believed that as long as he asked, there should be a lot of people coming to him. This task would have considerable progress. Sir? Just as he was thinking, Qinying's voice came from outside. Please come in. Qining pushed the door open and entered. I've contacted Tongren Medicine Hall. You can visit it now. Really? That's great. Wang Yao was happy to hear that. When? It's up to you. Anytime. Okay, tomorrow it is. Okay. However, the appointment was ruined the next day because Qinying's brother's illness acted up again. This is strange. After Wang Yao went to check, the result was the same as the last time. Last time, there was a problem with Fu Zheng's meridians and it became disordered again. This is really strange. This time, the deputy director came forward and pulled out the surveillance video of a period before Chunzhou's illness acted up. From the video, there was no problem. There were no signs, and the illness suddenly acted up. After watching the video, Wang Yao was puzzled. How could it suddenly become disordered? Was it a kind of inertia? This time, he still did not find out the reason. Therefore, Wang Yao treated him with a special method as usual. This time, he was able to stay sane for almost 4 hours longer than the last time. Wang Yao noticed this nod. Make a copy of the video and bring it back. Okay. In the afternoon, Qining took Wang Yao to Tongren Medicine Hall. This is not what I want to see, Wang Yao said with a smile. It turned out that Qining took him to an automatic processing workshop. These mechanical things were not for Wang Yao, so it was meaningless to see them. Sorry. After communicating with the people over there, they were able to see the manual processing process. It was very strict. Mobile phones and other things had to be placed outside. Okay, this time, Wang Yao saw what he wanted to see. A considerable part of the raw materials and herbs in Tongra Medicine Hall were purchased from outside, but there was also a part of the medicine that they processed and made themselves. Some medicine needed to be stir-fried, some needed to be steamed, and some needed to be dried. Processing Chinese medicine was also a skill. Chapter 375. Wang Yao had already mastered this knowledge, but he had only tried a small part of it. Most of it had not been put into practice. Such an opportunity to visit was also very rare, so he looked very carefully. Not only did he look, but he would also ask questions. However, the answers of those technical workers were very sophisticated. They would not mention some key things and would only be vague and vague. Wang Yao did not care. He just smiled. That afternoon, he had gained a lot. It was one thing to have knowledge, one thing to do it with his own hands, and one thing to watch others do it. After coming out of Tongra and Tang, Wang Yao smiled and said, "Not bad. It's very good." Tongra and Tang is not the only antique shop in Jing. If you are willing, I can contact other pharmacies. No need. Wang Yao smiled and waved his hand. He could see what he should see, but he could not see what he should not see. No matter how many places he went, he could not see what he should see. In the Su family's house, Song Ruaping was very nervous. She watched the medical staff who had taken care of her daughter for several years remove the layers of gauze on her daughter's face. Then she was stunned. Although this was not the first time she had changed her daughter's dressing, she still could not believe her eyes. Then she cried. She saw her daughter's face. It was just like a few years ago. "Xiaoxue, look at yourself." She held the mirror in front of her daughter. Su Xiaoxue was stunned, and she shed tears of joy. At the beginning of the illness, she did not dare to look at her own face. Her mother would not let her see her face for fear that she would have any bad thoughts. Because of the illness, she was completely disfigured. Her once flower-like appearance had become more terrifying than a ghost's face. Now, her dainty appearance had returned. In fact, it was even more beautiful than before. Perhaps even the heavens couldn't take it anymore. She was like a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon. It was a gorgeous transformation. Just when the mother and daughter were happy, a servant downstairs came up and said, "Madam, Mr. Guo is here." After hesitating for a moment, Song Ruaping said, "Let him in." Then she went downstairs. In the living room, Guo Jinghe was drinking tea. "Auntie, Zhenghe is here." Perhaps it was because her daughter's appearance had recovered. Song Ruaping was in a very good mood. Even when she spoke, there was a smile on her face. It was a smile that came from the bottom of her heart. Yes, someone as meticulous as Guo Zhenghe naturally noticed the change in the other party. "Auntie, is Xiaoxue feeling better?" "Yes, she's much better. It's all thanks to Dr. Wang's treatment for the past few days." Song Ruaping appreciated Wang Yao very much. "That's good. I want to go up and see her." "Well, she just fell asleep." Song Ruaping mysteriously refused Guo Zhenghe. "Oh, forget it then." "Zhenghe, haven't you already arrived? How's the work in town?" "It's all right. That's a poor county, not to mention a small town. It's a typical example of a place without money or manpower. I'm here specifically to get funds." Guo Jinghe smiled. "I'm going through the back door." He didn't avoid the situation at all and directly said it. After all, they were all from families of officials. It was better to be open about these things. "Well, is it going well?" "Fortunately, it's going well. At least the funds to build a road are available," Guo Jinghe said with a smile. "Train well down there. Don't let down the high hopes your family has for you." "Okay." Guo Jinghe stayed there for about 5 minutes. Then he got up and said goodbye. "Auntie, please don't see me out. Remember to say hello to Xiaoxue for me. Take care." Song Ruaping just got up and walked him out. After all, he was a younger person. "Madam, he's gone." The housekeeper who went out came back and said, "Okay." Song Ruaping turned and went upstairs. Her daughter was really asleep at this time. There was a smile in the corner of her mouth. "Xiaoxue, I just want you to live a healthy life. As for other things, put them aside for now." She knew about the conversation between her father-in-law and old Master Guo Jinghe. However, Her impression of this young man was only average. In fact, Guojinghe's performance was impeccable. Every time he came, he thought about a lot of things in advance. He showed his perfect side in life in front of everyone. However, Song Ruiping was not an ordinary person. She had a sharp eye for people. She also had a special feeling as a woman and as a mother. If possible, my daughter should find an honest man and live a peaceful life. This was her biggest wish as a mother. Wang Yao had returned to the courtyard. He sat on a stool and looked at the god in the sky. Chuning was practicing the improved breathing method Wang Yao gave her in the room. Time passed slowly. Soon, the sky was dark. Well, it's another day. Wang Yao slowly took a deep breath and broke away from the artistic conception of communicating with heaven and earth. Clang, clang. Chuning had already started to get busy in the kitchen. Before long, the smell of food drifted out of the room. There's still some ointment left. Su Xiaoxue's condition has fundamentally improved. It's time to go back, Wang Yao thought as he looked at the rising moon. Sir, it's time to eat. Okay. No, I can't go back yet. There's still her brother. Wang Yao had no clue about Chun Zhou's strange illness. He could treat the disorder of the meridians. However, if there was no pattern to the disorder, the illness would act up again after Chun Zhou became a Jinjin. He could not do anything about it for the time being. What was the reason? He had been thinking about it for the past few days. While eating, Chuning noticed Wang Yao's abnormal condition and asked softly, "What are you thinking about?" "I'm thinking about your brother's illness," Wang Yao said bluntly. "Do you have a solution?" "Not yet." Ring, 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 ring. While eating, the phone rang. It was Tong Wei. "Hello, Tong Wei. What are you busy with?" "Oh, I'm eating." "I'm in Jing," Tong Wei said with a smile on the other end of the phone. "What?" Wang Yao was stunned. "Where are you? When did you arrive?" "I just got off the plane. I'm at the airport." "Wait a moment. I'll pick you up right away." "It's okay. I came with my colleagues to attend a meeting," Tong Wei said. "No, I want to see you." "Okay. I'll wait for you. Sorry to bother you. Let's go to the airport," Wang Yao said to Chuning with a smile. "Okay." Chuning did not ask why. She went straight out to get the car. At this time, there were still many cars in Jing. They were still some distance away from the airport. It took them more than an hour to get there. At the airport, Wang Yao saw a slim figure in a slim windbreaker. She stood there gracefully. After seeing him, she smiled and waved at him. Chuning was stunned when she saw the woman. "She's beautiful." This was her first impression. Wang Yao came to Tong Wei. The two of them stared at each other. "I miss you." "Me too." He hugged Tong Wei in his arms. She's his girlfriend. Seeing this scene, Chuning felt disappointed and heartbroken for no reason. Tong Wei's colleagues had already gone to the hotel. "Where are you staying?" "I'm staying with my colleagues." "The hotel has already been booked," Tong Wei said with a smile. "Let's go to the place where I'm staying temporarily. There's still empty rooms there." The courtyard was not small. There were indeed a few empty rooms. "Okay." Then Tong Wei saw Chuning. She could not help but take a few more glances at her. She was a beauty. She was different from ordinary beauty. She had a valiant and heroic aura. "Let me introduce you. Tong Wei, my girlfriend. Chuning, a friend I met in Jing. She's a very good person." "Hello." "Hello." Tong Wei may stay in Jing for a few days. Can you let her stay in the courtyard?" "No problem," Chuning said. This courtyard was originally a gift from the Su family to Wang Yao. It was just that Wang Yao was not willing to accept it until now. "Let's go." After getting in the car, Tong Wei called her colleagues. Then, she went to the courtyard where Wang Yao was sitting. She looked at the quaint courtyard. She was very surprised. "Where's this place?" It was Jing, a place where every inch of land was worth its weight in gold. Chapter 376. It was obvious that this small courtyard was quite old. Such a building could not be bought with money alone. Chuning thought that Tong Wei and Wang Yao would stay in the same room. She did not expect that Tong Wei would ask for a separate room, which surprised her. After that, Wang Yao and Tong Wei enjoyed their time together in the room. "How long will you stay in Beijing this time?" "About 4 days. I'm here to attend a large-scale exhibition," Tong Wei said. "The people you know here are not ordinary. They actually prepared such a place for you." Also, what's up with Qining just now? Tong Wei smiled. Wang Yao sensed something unusual from her words. His friend had a young girl by his side all the time. He was not by his side. No matter who it was, he would not feel at ease. She's the housekeeper and tour guide hired by that family. She's in charge of everything when I'm in Beijing. Really? You seem to be quite close to her, Tong Wei said. Close? Haha, you must have misunderstood. Wang Yao smiled and pinched the beauty's face. Humph, you're not allowed to cheat outside. Tong Wei pouted. Don't worry. Wang Yao held Tong Wei in his arms. I'll go shopping with you these few days. Sure. The next morning, Qining prepared breakfast for Tong Wei. After breakfast, Tong Wei went to meet her colleagues. Hey, beauty, tell me, who's sitting in the car? Several of her colleagues saw the luxury car that sent her here and also saw Wang Yao getting out of the car. They smiled and asked, My boyfriend. Boyfriend? Isn't he in hike? Why'd he come to Beijing? Did he come here specifically for you? No, he came to Beijing for something. All right, let's not talk about it. Let's go to the exhibition. The exhibition didn't require everyone to be there. Of course, if a beauty like Tong Wei was there, the effect would be better, and it would attract more people's attention. The company that Tong Wei worked for mainly dealt in cosmetics. It was considered a rather famous international brand. This time, they had come to the exhibition jointly with Beijing and Dao City. Every year, different employees of the subsidiary company would come. It was also a kind of training for the company's employees. This time, the leader of the team from Dao City was a woman in her 40s. She was very capable. The rest of the team were girls in their 20s like Tong Wei. They were young and beautiful. As for the team from Beijing, the leader was a man in his 30s. He looked very mature and masculine. Both sides met and communicated with each other. Then, they began to set up the stage for the exhibition. Are you Tong Wei? Manager Han, who was leading the team from Beijing, took the initiative to greet Tong Wei. Yes, nice to meet you, Manager Han. Ah, hello. Are you free at noon? Let's have lunch together. Manager Han invited with a smile. Sorry, I've already made an appointment with my friend for lunch. Oh, that's a pity, Manager Han said. It was not a big deal for Manager Han to hit a wall. Next time, we'll see. After a few simple words, Manager Han left. Tong Wei's colleague followed him. What's wrong? Did that eligible bachelor invite you to lunch? Tong Wei's colleague asked softly. Yes. You rejected him. Of course, I have a boyfriend, Tong Wei said matter-of-factly. Lunch? I've asked around. Manager Han has several houses in Beijing. He's from a good family. He's an eligible bachelor. Look at his age. He's at least 35, right? Age is not a problem. Men at his age know how to take care of people better. Then you should give it a try. I want to. The two good friends in the company chatted casually. Tong Wei received a call from Wang Yao. He invited her and her colleague to have lunch together. Okay, I'll talk to them. On the other end of the phone, Wang Yao also asked Qining to help him book a table at a high-end restaurant near the exhibition. In the afternoon, Tong Wei and her colleagues arrived as promised. Well done, Tong Wei, your boyfriend is awesome. Tong Wei's colleagues looked at the restaurant and said. From the outside, they knew it was not ordinary. After entering the private room, Wang Yao got to know Tong Wei's colleagues. He did not talk much. Most of the time, he listened to their conversation. The dishes were served at a moderate pace. Of course, the dishes were cooked very well. Everyone enjoyed the meal very much. At the same time, their evaluation of Wang Yao improved. After lunch, they had to go to the exhibition to work. Because it was the first day of work, Tong Wei went with them. Your boyfriend should be very rich, right? I don't know about this, Tong Wei said. She did not know how much money Wang Yao had. She had never heard him mention it. Is he going to buy a house in Beijing? Why does he want to buy a house in Beijing? Tong Wei asked. The house here is so expensive. The air quality is also not good. But this is Beijing, Tong Wei said. It was the most unyielding and unreasonable reason. Yes, this was Beijing, the capital of the country. Yes, as long as I am with him, anywhere is fine, Tong Wei said with a smile. Hey, my beautiful girl, is your requirement so low? Yes, what's wrong? In fact, Tong Wei was very worried deep in her heart. As she spent more time with Wang Yao, she found that there were too many things she did not see. This former classmate, now boyfriend, had too many secrets. It turned out that he was so outstanding that it made a girl like her doubt whether she was worthy of him. Your girlfriend is very outstanding. This was Chun Ying's evaluation of Tong Wei for the first time. Note, it was not simply beautiful but outstanding. She was not the kind of vase that only had appearance. Thank you, Wang Yao said with a smile. Tong Wei was very outstanding. Since junior high school, she had been outstanding in her studies, speech, and behavior. This had a lot to do with her family's upbringing and her own habits. In addition, her work experience in the past few years had added a lot of experience to her life. Sometimes it was better to travel thousands of miles than to read thousands of books. Remember to let me know when you get married. Sure. Wang Yao had already regarded Chen Ying as his friend. Are you going to accompany her these few days? I still have to go to the Su family's house tomorrow. Also, you have to tell the doctor about your brother's condition clearly. Don't miss any details. Wang Yao had a feeling that he had overlooked something. Yes, I will emphasize to them again. In the evening, Wang Yao asked Tong Wei to walk around the bustling Beijing. For example, places like Hohai were more popular with young people. A beautiful girl like Tong Wei naturally attracted a lot of attention. Of course, it was only attention. There were two drunk men who tried to ask for Tong Wei's phone number, but they were cleverly dealt with by Wang Yao. Ah, suddenly my stomach hurts. What kind of wine is this? Well, I think we should find a quieter place. Okay. Tong Wei smiled. She was as beautiful as a flower. When will your exhibition start? It will officially start tomorrow morning. That's a pity. I have something to do tomorrow morning. I can't go there. It's okay. You do what you need to do. Tong Wei was very understanding. Okay. If you need anything, you can call me at any time. Okay. The two of them chatted and strolled around the streets until it was almost 10 o'clock before they went back to rest. Good night. Good night. Two strange people, Chun Ying, who saw them come back from the room, saw them go into two different rooms after hugging. It was a little strange. In today's society, couples between men and women were not as conservative as before. It was very normal for couples to live together before marriage. However, it was rare for the two of them to live together. Facing such a beautiful person, he could restrain himself so much. Was it because this was someone else's place, or was it because of other reasons? Of course, this was not something that she should think about. Should she tell Mrs. Wang about this matter? The next morning, Tong Wei woke up very early. Chapter 377. After washing up, she went to the kitchen. Chen Ying was busy making breakfast. You're up so early? Yes, I'll help you. No need. I'll do it, Chen Ying said with a smile. Let me help you. Okay then. The two women cooperated quite well. After busying themselves for a while, a nutritious and exquisite breakfast was ready. Your cooking skills are great. Tong Wei couldn't help but praise. You flatter me. After breakfast, he drove Tong Wei to the exhibition. Then, Wang Yao went directly to Su Xiaoshua's house. Song Ruiping had been waiting at home. Hello, Dr. Wang. Hello, ma'am. I just made tea. Why don't you try it first? Song Ruiping said with a smile. Tea? Wang Yao looked at the exquisite tea set on the coffee table. The fragrance of the tea was faint. Okay. The cup of tea was fragrant and lingered in the mouth. Good tea, Wang Yao praised. Thank you. Song Ruiping's smile seemed to be exceptionally bright today. Shall I go upstairs and see Miss Su? Okay. As soon as Wang Yao entered Su Xiaoshua's bedroom, he was stunned. So beautiful. Su Xiaoshua's face had completely recovered. It was like a pearl washed away by dust. Wang Yao had seen beautiful women before. Tong Wei was a rare beauty. Chun Ying was a valiant woman. However, Su Xiaoshua was different from them. She was an orchid in an empty valley, a snow lotus in Tianshan Mountain, and a graceful peony. Any description was appropriate. This was the beauty of a butterfly breaking out of its cocoon. It was a flower that shone through mountains and rivers after being washed away by dust. It was just a moment of absent-mindedness. Wang Yao came back to his senses. It turns out that Miss Su is so beautiful. She is like a celestial being he said with a smile. Thank you. Su Xiaoxue smiled brightly. Her beauty was even better. Let me take a look at you. Okay. Su Xiaoxue's illness was recovering very well. A considerable part of the heat toxins in her body had been removed. The muscle revitalization powder also played its role. Good. You are recovering very quickly. I feel like I'm getting lighter and lighter these days. That's good. Shall we continue with the treatment? All right. This time, the duration of the treatment was slightly longer. This was because other than the previous treatment, Wang Yao also tried another treatment method, which was to suck out the fire poison from her back. He had tried this method on Sun Yinsheng before, and it worked well. This was the first time he tried it on Su Xiaoxue. In fact, Sun Yinsheng's body was almost the same as Su Xiaoxue's. Both of them were on the verge of death. However, after a period of treatment, their bodies had recovered to different degrees. Sun Yinsheng could walk on his own, but Su Xiaoxue could not stand up or even turn over. She needed help to sit up. Wang Yao pressed his hands on Su Xiaoxue's back. She was very thin and did not have much flesh on her back. I'm ready. If you feel any discomfort, tell me immediately. All right. One was sucking, and the other was transferring. Wang Yao controlled the process very carefully. At first, Su Xiaoxue didn't feel any difference between her back and her arm. Gradually, as Wang Yao began to gradually exert force, she felt that one side of her back was cold and the other side was hot. It was like ice and fire. It was a very special feeling. The hot side was naturally the place where the fire toxins had passed through. It was very uncomfortable. The cold side was because Wang Yao's neishi had a very magical effect. After entering her body, it began to consume the fire toxins in her body. Because the meridians and acupoints on the back were far more than those on the arm, the intuitive feeling of this treatment was more obvious. Su Xiaoxue's body trembled slightly because of the pain. After feeling this change, Wang Yao decisively stopped the treatment process. Is it very painful? Fortunately, I can bear it. Su Xiaoxue gritted her teeth and said. In fact, her forehead was already sweating. You should rest first. Treatment needed to be done step by step. She could not rush to succeed. That would only be as bad as falling short. The medical staff helped Su Xiaoxue lie down. By the way, how is the neishi in your body? It's fine. I tried to follow the method you said, but it didn't work very well, Su Xiaoxue said softly. Don't worry. This needs to be done slowly. If there was an effect after one try, the path of practice would be too simple. It was already a miracle that neishi appeared in Su Xiaoxue's body based on a few lines of scriptures that Wang Yao unintentionally told her. If she could learn the method of transferring neishi in a few days because of a relatively general method that he said, wouldn't God spoil her too much? When I'm lying in bed and have nothing to do, I try to transfer it. Yes, practice often. The most important thing is perseverance. Wang Yao and Su Xiaoxue chatted for a while. Seeing that she was a little tired, he decided to end the treatment for today. You should rest first. Today's treatment will end here. Okay. Seeing that Wang Yao was about to leave, Su Xiaoxue said softly, Dr. Wang, take care. Have a good rest. The woman's eyes were very clear. Song Ruiping invited Wang Yao to the living room downstairs. Dr. Wang, would you like to have a cup of tea? Thank you. I'd better go back. Dr. Wang, I want to ask, in your opinion, when can Xiaoxue stand up? Stand up? Yes. Wang Yao pondered for a moment. It was hard for him to say. If he was there, he would try his best to treat her and try to make her stand up within a month. However, he couldn't stay there for such a long time. It's hard for me to say. I think it should be possible in 3 months. 3 months? Good. Song Ruiping was very happy. In fact, even if Wang Yao said 1 year, she could accept it. She was afraid that Wang Yao would say that her daughter had no possibility of standing up in this lifetime. She couldn't accept that kind of blow. She personally walked Wang Yao to the door and happened to meet a young man. He was of medium build, well-dressed, and wearing a pair of gold-rimmed glasses. Auntie, Xiao Lu, come in and have a seat. Okay. The young man didn't go in. Instead, he waited at the side and watched Song Ruiping walk Wang Yao out. This is Dr. Wang? The eyes behind the glasses narrowed slightly. It seems that he is very well received by the Su family. Xiao Lu, come in. Okay. The young man followed Song Ruaping into the house. Didn't you go to Shijiang? When did you come back? I came back last week. There are some things I need to solve, the young man said after sitting down. Okay, have some tea. Thank you. Auntie, is Xiaoxiu better? The young man asked with a smile. Yes, a lot better. This time, I'm here to apologize, the young man said seriously as he straightened his body. Apologize? What's wrong? Song Ruaping wasn't surprised. She had a smile on her face. I sent someone to that small courtyard, the young man said. Oh, what? I heard that Dr. Wang carries a magical ointment with him that can remove rotting flesh. You know my brother's illness, the young man said. So, I wanted to give it a try. Song Ruaping didn't say anything. She just looked at the young man, sitting in front of her with a smile. After a moment, she said, Xiao Lu, you weren't like this before. Yes, the young man said with his head lowered. All right, I got it. We can't just let this go. Go and apologize to Dr. Wang. This can't happen a second time, Zhang Xiaoying said. I know. Thank you. The young man was secretly relieved. He didn't continue to stay in the Su family's house. He left and went directly to the small courtyard where Wang Yao was. He was quite a good young man. Why did he change? Song Ruaping looked at the young man's back and whispered. Wang Yao didn't go back to the small courtyard. Instead, he went directly to the exhibition. Then he saw an acquaintance, Wu Weiran. At this time, he was talking to Tong Wei outside the platform, but she didn't pay attention to him at all. How shameless! You actually chased me all the way here. Wang Yao laughed. Mr. Wu, he came behind Wu Weiran and patted him hard. Ouch! Wu Weiran only felt a burning pain in his shoulder. He even heard the crisp sound of his bones. He hoped it was just an illusion. Who is it? When he turned around and saw that it was Wang Yao, his eyes immediately burned with anger. Kid, it's you. Yes, it's me. Mr. Wu, you're out. How did it feel inside? This is Beijing. Mr. Wu gritted his teeth and said. In Dao, he was powerless. He thought that there was a powerful existence like Sun Jingrong there. However, it was different in Beijing. He had many friends. Yes, Beijing is a place of law, Wang Yao said with a smile. Mr. Wu, I've said it before. Please don't harass me again. Otherwise, I'll call the police. Tong Wei stood beside Wang Yao. She held his arm and said firmly, You'll regret it. Wu Weiran left with an ashen face. You'll regret it too, Wang Yao said with a smile. Then, Tong Wei directly asked for leave from her supervisor and left with Wang Yao. After leaving the exhibition center, she asked softly, You're not angry, right? Angry? What's there to be angry about? Wang Yao asked with a smile. That Wu Weiran. I don't know how he found this place, Tong Wei said. Him? Well, I won't stoop to his level. You have to be careful these few days. Don't cause any trouble, Tong Wei said worriedly. Don't worry. He won't dare. Ouch, it hurts. At this time, Wu Weiran couldn't lift his shoulder. Bean-sized sweat kept dripping down his face. What's going on? Wang Yao was very particular about what he did just now. He used the access to qi in boxing and the destructive power of Neishi. This move was not as simple as messing up the tendons and vessels. If Wu Weiran didn't repent, his arm might be in big trouble. Chapter 378. It must be that bastard just now. No, I have to go to the hospital first. He couldn't drive, so he took a taxi to the hospital. Your shoulder is very strange. After queuing up for a checkup, he got such a conclusion. How is it strange? Muscle sprain. Sprain. Hearing the diagnosis, Wu Weiran was stunned. What kind of diagnosis was this? How could it be sprain? It was clearly a slap injury. Why don't I feel like it? Wu Weiran said. Young man, you have to see a doctor through a checkup report. It depends on the data, not on the feeling, the doctor said with a smile. What do you think I should do? I'll prescribe you some ointment. You just have to apply it regularly, the doctor said. That's simple. What do you think? I saw that you were a little surprised just now, Wu Weiran said. He had been taken advantage of by Wang Yao before, so he was definitely not at ease. Well, your sprain isn't special, but it shouldn't be a big problem. Let's see the effect of the ointment first. What do you mean by should? Young man, are you questioning me? The doctor was a little unhappy. That's not what I meant. Okay, go and get the ointment. Okay. Wu Yuan took the doctor's prescription and went to get the ointment. After he left, the doctor looked at the checkup report and said, "It's really strange." What's the reason? He didn't know, but Wang Yao knew very well. At this time, he was drinking tea and chatting with Tong Wei in the small courtyard. What does Mr. Wu's family do? Real estate, hotels, supermarkets. They do a lot of things. Why are you asking this? Nothing. I'm just asking. I just read his fortune. He might have a bloody disaster today, Wang Yao said with a smile. A bloody disaster? What did you do to him again? Tong Wei was surprised. Nothing. I just want him to remember, Wang Yao said with a smile. He realized that his mentality had changed. Wu Yuan's change was not a big deal, but some people were suffering. At this time, Wu Yuan's arm could not move at all. His shoulder, which had been patted by Wang Yao, was swollen. It felt like he had been bitten by something highly poisonous. What scared him even more was that the medicine he had taken from the hospital did not have any effect after applying it externally. Instead, it made the injury worse. He was scared out of his wits. He went to the hospital again and looked for the doctor. What's going on? The doctor was stunned when he saw Wu Yuan's shoulder. Young man, what have you done this time? I didn't do anything. I just used the medicine you gave me. What? You can't? The doctor was dumbfounded. Wait a minute. The doctor pricked his shoulder with a needle and blood gushed out. Bleeding. Wu Yuan's face turned pale when he saw this. Are you kidding me? The doctor was also stunned. Hurry up and check. After another round of examination, the blood vessels on his shoulders were varicose and some of the capillaries had ruptured. Varicose. The doctor frowned when he saw the examination report. Varicose blood vessels was not rare, but it was usually on the lower limbs caused by standing for a long time. It was the first time he had seen varicose blood vessels on the shoulders after being a doctor for so many years. This was strange. Young man, how did you get this injury? Tell me the truth, the doctor asked very seriously. I told you. I was slapped by someone. Wu Yuan hated Wang Yao to death now. At the same time, he also had a certain fear of him deep in his heart. Don't joke around. Who can cause varicose blood vessels with a slap? I would believe it if you said your shoulder blade was cracked. I'm telling the truth. Hurry up and think of a way to treat it. You'll have to undergo surgery, the doctor said after thinking for a while. What surgery? Wu Yuan had to undergo surgery after being slapped. Fortunately, he did not slap his head. Your varicose blood vessels are quite serious. The best way is to remove part of them. Doctor, are you kidding me? Do I look like I'm kidding? No. Wu Yuan subconsciously felt that even if part of the blood vessels were removed, the problem would not be solved. To solve this problem, he had to look for Wang Yao. That damn man. Hey, where are you going? I'm looking for someone. Wu Yuan said without turning his head. Young man, are you doubting my ability? You don't say. I really don't believe you. Wu Yuan took a taxi directly to the club. However, he did not see Tong Wei. Can I call her? Why do you want to look for her? She went shopping with her boyfriend, Tong Wei's colleague said. Just tell her that I have something important to talk to them about. You see, Wu Yuan invited the woman to the side and gave her money. It was simple and direct. Most importantly, it was effective. Then I'll give her a call. The woman's eyes lit up when she saw the money. However, she could earn so much with just a phone call. Only a fool would not dare to do it. Let him wait. This was Wang Yao's reply. At this moment, a guest had arrived at the small courtyard. It was a young man who called himself Lu Fan. He even brought a gift. It was a 70-year-old ginseng. This, Wang Yao was puzzled. This was the first time he met this young man who was about his age. However, the other party had given him such an expensive gift. One should not underestimate this wild ginseng. Wang Yao was knowledgeable. This was a high-quality wild ginseng. Although it was less than 100 years old, it was already extremely rare. After all, in today's society, people would fight to pick anything valuable. This wild ginseng had almost been dug up. This one should be worth hundreds of thousands. This gift is too expensive. I can't accept it. Young Master Lu, please speak your mind. Wang Yao glanced at the old ginseng and rejected it directly. I'm here to apologize to Dr. Wang. Apologize? What are you apologizing for? Wang Yao asked in surprise. A few days ago, I sent someone to the small courtyard and went to your room. Oh, in an instant, Wang Yao understood. Oh, so that's what it is. Did that person take anything? No. Since you didn't take anything and didn't hurt anyone, just go back and punish him. I can't accept this thing. Wang Yao declined. It's like this. I want to ask Dr. Wang to see a patient, Lu Fan said. What patient? My brother. What disease? Malignant sores? Malignant sores? Wang Yao thought for a while. Well, I'm free in the afternoon. Bring him to me. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wang. Lu Fan said happily. Wait, take this ginseng away. Wang Yao pointed at the box on the table. Oh, okay. I'll take it away then. After Lu Fan left, Wang Yao called Chuning, who is young Master Lu. Then, Chuning introduced his family background. He was another son of an aristocratic family. Do you know his brother? Yes, his name is Lu Baran. He's a famous young master. Famous? Yes, he is a typical rich playboy who likes beautiful women. Hearing Chunying's words, Wang Yao had a bad impression of Lu Baran. Malignant sores? Could it be a philandering disease? Lu Fan acted quickly and quickly brought his younger brother over. He had a sickly look on his face and walked like a crab. It was as if he had been hurt by something when he took a step. Before he got close, Wang Yao smelled a sour smell from him. It was not a smell that could be covered by a strong perfume. Dr. Wang, this is my brother, Lu Baran. Hello, Dr. Wang. Lu Baran said weakly. Hello, Sister Chun. He obviously knew Chuning. Huh, this woman is so beautiful. When he saw Tong Wei next to Wang Yao, his eyes lit up. Obviously, his old illness was acting up again. Dr. Wang, look, I don't need to see young Master Lu. I can't cure him, Wang Yao said calmly. What? You didn't tell me the truth at the beginning. It's a philandering disease, right? Yes, Lu Fan said. This disease was not a terminal illness, but his brother's situation was more serious. It was not just a simple disease, but a combination of many diseases. The only thing missing was AIDS. Sorry for making you come here in vain. Dr. Wang, please take a look. We've already come here, Lu Fan said. Chapter 379. There's no need to look at him. His legs are apart when he walks, and his steps are light. His body is emitting a sour smell. His breathing is weak, and his face is pale. In addition to his illness, there's nothing I can do, Wang Yao said bluntly. Sorry to disturb you. It's fine. Lu Fan left the courtyard with his brother. Why didn't I smell anything sour on his body? Tong Wei asked curiously. I only smell a strong perfume. Yes, it's the pungent perfume that covers up the sour smell on his body. My nose is slightly more sensitive. Is his illness serious? It's very serious. If it's not treated, it will probably turn into other malignant diseases, Wang Yao said. Lu Baran's illness was indeed quite serious. If he accepted Wang Yao's treatment now, there might be a chance for him to turn around. If it was delayed any longer, it would not take long. In about a month, unless a god came to save him, there would be no possibility of recovery. All right, let's not care about him. Let's go out for a walk. Just as they were about to go out, Tong Wei's phone rang again. She picked it up and saw that it was an unfamiliar number. She picked it up and saw that it was Mr. Wu. He sounded very anxious and was about to cry. It's Mr. Wu, Tong Wei said softly to Wang Yao said. He said that he wants to see you. He also said that he was wrong and would not dare to do it again. Is that so? He came to his senses quickly. Wang Yao said with a smile. Do you want to see him? There's no hurry. Let him think about it. On the other side, Wu Yueran was really crying. He was in so much pain that he wanted to cry for his parents. His shoulder was in so much pain that he wanted to cry for his parents. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yao took Tong Wei to go shopping. They wanted to see the famous scenic spots in Beijing, leaving Wu Yueran aside. Wu Yueran had no choice. He asked someone to pull some strings and found a famous old Chinese doctor in Beijing. The old doctor was also very surprised when he saw the situation. However, this old man was quite capable. His acupuncture technique actually made him feel a little more comfortable. Of course, it was just a little. He was on tenterhooks the entire afternoon, praying to Buddha and Bodhisattva. Finally, when it was close to evening, Tong Wei called him back and told him an address. He hurriedly took a taxi there. Mr. Wang, I was wrong. Wu Weiren begged for mercy the moment they met. Young Master Wu, have you thought it through? I've thought it through. I won't disturb you and Tong Wei anymore. He raised his hand and swore to heaven. Good. You're a good comrade if you know your mistakes and can correct them. Shall I take a look at your shoulder? Oh, okay. At this moment, his shoulder was swollen to the point of turning purple. It might hurt a little. It's okay. I can hold it in. All right. Wang Yao slapped him on the shoulder. What did it mean to add insult to injury? They lived in the same building. They could be considered friends. Not long ago, Wang Yao found that the old man in a wheelchair suddenly used crutches. He was very surprised, so he went up to ask the old man where he was cured. His wife had been paralyzed in bed for more than a year. But no matter how much he asked, the old man refused to tell him. This made him very anxious, so he thought of a way. When he was free, he would spy on Chun Buiyuan's father-in-law. He accidentally overheard the conversation between Chun Buiyuan's father-in-law and his daughter. When Chun Buiyuan mentioned Dr. Wang, he was overjoyed. Just a few days ago, Chun Buiyuan brought his father-in-law to the small courtyard twice. One of the times, they were followed by the old man. However, when they were about to reach the small courtyard, something went wrong and he lost them. If it weren't for some accidental factors, he wouldn't have been able to find this small courtyard. Coincidence. After listening to the old man's description, Wang Yao thought of this word. Opportunity. Hearing about it was fate. Meeting was fate. More importantly, Wang Yao still had a mission to make a name for himself. Okay, I can go to your house with you, but not now. Tell me your address. I'll find time to go there tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. The old man thanked him and left his address and contact information. Take care. Wang Yao walked him out of the courtyard. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I can't accompany you tomorrow. Wang Yao had planned to continue shopping with Tong Wei the next day. It's okay, Tong Wei said with a smile. She could feel the old man's persistence and love for his wife. This made her feel a little emotional. When she reached his age, would he be able to stay by her side and not leave her? For a moment, she thought a little too far. It was an autumn night, and the weather was cold. Wang Yao was still sitting in the courtyard alone, looking at the sky. The sky was a little hazy tonight. What are you looking at? Tong Wei came out with a coat. The sky. Wang Yao pointed at the night sky above. What's there to look at? It's all gray, Tong Wei said with a smile. It's very interesting, Wang Yao said with a smile. He could see what Tong Wei couldn't see. While looking at the sky, he was also trying to communicate with the world in the courtyard. This world was a little lonely. Whoosh. A gust of wind blew. Tong Wei's body trembled slightly. Stop. Wang Yao put his left hand up. The wind actually stopped for a moment. What a coincidence, Tong Wei said with a smile. However, she found that not far from the courtyard, the eucalyptus leaves were still floating. This meant that the wind was still there, but it wasn't coming in her direction. Chapter 380. It was as if Wang Yao's palm was an invisible wall that blocked the cold wind. What was going on? She was stunned. Was it a coincidence, or did he really have the ability? Tong Wei looked at Wang Yao in surprise. What's wrong? Why isn't the wind blowing in our direction? Maybe it saw that you were cold and was afraid that you would catch a cold, Wang Yao said with a smile. I'm not cold now. Wang Yao put down his hand after hearing that. Then the cold wind blew over. Tong Wei sat there in a daze for a long time before she came back to her senses. How'd you do it? A pair of beautiful eyes stared at Wang Yao. It was too magical. It was just a coincidence, Wang Yao said after a moment of silence. These things were too shocking. Except for Chuning, who saw it with her own eyes, no one knew that his cultivation had reached the legendary level of communicating with heaven and earth. He would tell her about these things in the future. Tong Wei smiled and rolled her eyes at Wang Yao. Then, She sat with him in the courtyard. It's cold outside. Let's go inside and sleep. I'm not sleepy. I'll stay with you for a while. The two of them stayed in the courtyard until 10 o'clock before going inside to rest. The next day, Tong Wei took a taxi to the exhibition. She didn't ask Chening to send her. He felt embarrassed to trouble her. In the morning, Wang Yao and Tong Wei went to the treatment center first. They watched the tracking video of her brother for the past 2 days. There was still nothing unusual. However, her brother still fell ill. This time, the time of the relapse was delayed for another half a day. In other words, Wang Yao's treatment effect could not only restore her brother's consciousness, but also increase the time he stayed awake after each treatment. At this rate, he would stay awake sooner or later, but it would take a long time. However, this gave Chening hope. Copy all these videos. Okay. Chening made a copy of all the videos. Thank you, Director Fu. It's my pleasure, the middle-aged woman said with a smile. She was getting more and more curious about the young man who came with Chening. What kind of person had such a miraculous ability to treat such a patient to such an extent? Don't underestimate the lucidity of these 2 days. It was quite significant for professional medical personnel like them. If they knew his specific treatment method, they might be able to make a fundamental breakthrough in the field of treatment of related diseases. However, she tried to ask several times, but the other party didn't say anything at all. She knew a little about Chun Ying's identity. She couldn't afford to offend him over such a trivial matter. Let's go. All right. Sir, do you think my brother's illness can be cured? Chening couldn't help but ask. That's hard to say. Wang Yao wasn't sure himself. He felt like he had touched something. It was like a layer of window paper. If he pierced through it, he might be able to find the source and solve it. Okay. Chening didn't continue to ask. Where are we going? This address. Wang Yao gave Chening the address left by the old man, surnamed Xing, yesterday. At the same time, he called the old man and asked him to wait at home in the afternoon. They would go there. The place was not too far from the treatment center. About an hour later, they arrived at the old man's home. The old man had been waiting for them at home. Hello. Welcome, welcome, the old man said. The home was very clean and decorated very warmly. At the same time, Wang Yao smelled a strong smell of Chinese medicine. It should be the medicine that had just been decocted. Please have some tea. Thank you. They sat down and drank some water. After chatting for a while, Wang Yao went to see his wife. She was lying on the hospital bed. Her hair was white, and her complexion was not good. Her complexion was sallow. This kind of complexion was actually more unhealthy than a pale complexion. After lying on the hospital bed for a long time, her qi and blood would be lost. Following that, her organs and muscles would weaken and shrink. Needless to say, her health was poor. Wife, I've asked a doctor to come and take a look at you. Okay. The old woman lying on the bed responded weakly. Wang Yao sat in front of the bed. He first looked at her carefully. Then, he checked her pulse. The old woman's face, arms, and body were very clean. Her husband must have cleaned her frequently. This made Wang Yao have a better impression of the old man. Even if a couple lived together, there would be friction. It was also possible that they could share wealth, but could not share weal and woe together. Helping each other in difficult times and not abandoning each other was worthy of respect and blessings. Her illness was very similar to Chun Buiyuan's father-in-law's. However, she had hemiplegia. She could not feel the left half of her body. The main problem was her head. Her waist was the secondary problem. Seeing Wang Yao examining his wife, the old man did not dare to breathe loudly. To be honest, he was on tenterhooks. He was afraid that Wang Yao would say that this illness was incurable. After the examination, Wang Yao stood up and said, "Okay, I've understood the illness." Then, the old man did not know how to ask for a moment. "This illness, I can give it a try," Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay. The old man said the word okay 3 times in a row. "How about this? I'll give her a massage first." Okay. The old man was stunned. Obviously, he did not expect Wang Yao to use such a treatment method. What kind of treatment is a massage? This was his first thought, but he did not show any emotion. Wang Yao activated his neishi. First, he gently rubbed the old woman's head with the massage technique. At the same time, he injected a small amount of neishi into the old woman's head to stimulate her. This process did not look different from the outside. However, the old woman lying on the bed could clearly feel it. She felt that her head was heating up as the young doctor kept pushing and massaging. The heat did not just stay on the surface. It kept spreading to the inside. Her whole head became warm. This warmth was very comfortable. After more than 10 minutes, her sallow face began to redden. Small beads of sweat even appeared. "Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere?" "No, I'm fine," the old woman said. "That's good." The treatment process lasted about 20 minutes. After that, Wang Yao massaged her back. This process also took more than 20 minutes. After the treatment, they returned to the living room. "This treatment will end here. I'll come again the day after tomorrow," Wang Yao said. "Okay, Dr. Wang, how much does this treatment cost?" the old woman asked. "What?" Wang Yao hesitated for a moment. This was his unique treatment method. Because he didn't use any drugs or the prescription provided by the system, he had the final say on the price. Logically speaking, there was no problem with him asking for a high price because the effect of this treatment couldn't be wrong. However, looking at the old man's family condition, he wasn't considered rich. Moreover, the two old men's feelings for each other made him feel touched. "How about this? 3 treatments, 1,000 yuan. "Okay, no problem. I'll get you the money now." The old woman got up and went into the bedroom. She took out 1,000 yuan directly. "No hurry." Wang Yao only took 500 yuan. He said he would collect the rest after the 3 treatments. "By the way, did you decoct Chinese medicine in the morning?" "Yes, I did. Can I see the prescriptions?" "Okay." The old woman took the prescriptions, but he could not recognize the strange handwriting on it. "Can I see the medicine you took?" "Okay, I'll get it." The old woman took the herb she had asked for from an old Chinese medicine practitioner. Astragalus, earthworm, Gastrodia elata, silkworm. Although he did not have a pharmacy, he knew these herbs. "Don't take this medicine for the time being," Wang Yao said after reading it. "Don't take it, but it's only half of the treatment." Yes, the medicine is not very effective, but it has damaged the old woman's intestines. During the examination just now, Wang Yao found that the old woman's internal organs, especially the intestines, were damaged to a certain extent. After taking a closer look, he found it was caused by toxins. It should be the side effect of the medicine. "Okay, I won't take it for now. Is the treatment fee so low?" Chuning asked after they went out. Chapter 381. She wanted to pay Wang Yao, but he refused. In her opinion, Wang Yao's medical skills had reached the level of a national medical sage. These people could not be hired with money. Just like the consultation fee he had just charged from the old man, it was probably more of a symbolic charge. It depends on the person," Wang Yao said with a smile. Just like in the village, Wang Fengming went on blind dates with the loyal people who helped him. He could treat them without taking a single cent. For rich people like Sun Yinsheng, he would naturally charge the medical fees. As for evil people like Chu Yang and Lu Baran, he would not treat them no matter how much money they paid. "Can the old man recover?" "I can only be sure after the treatment," Wang Yao said with a smile. In fact, he was quite confident. "Where are you going?" "Let's go to the exhibition." "Okay." In old Master Xing's house, the old man sat by the bed and held his wife's hand. "How do you feel?" "It's quite comfortable. My head is not so numb. Even my body seems to feel better," the old man lying on the bed said with a smile. "Where did you find this doctor?" "He looks young, but he is really capable." As long as you feel good," old Master Xing said with a smile. Now that his children were all adults and had their own families, the biggest concern for him was his wife lying on the hospital bed. His children had asked him to take care of their mother, who was hemiplegic, at home, but the old man objected. He was still in good health. It was not a problem for him to take care of people. Moreover, his children had their own children and had their own burdens. It was quite good for him to take care of his wife alone. He said he would come back in 2 days. "Okay, don't take those medicines." He said that these medicines are slightly effective in treating stroke, but they're not very effective for hemiplegia. If you take too much of them, your stomach will be damaged. Then don't take them for now. It's just a pity that you spent money. What's there to pity? The old man said. The two old men who had accompanied each other for most of their lives, one sitting by the bed and the other lying on the bed, spoke one sentence after another. On the other side, Wang Yao and Chuning had already arrived at the center of the exhibition. The hall of the exhibition was huge, and there were many big brands from home and abroad that were exhibiting and soliciting business here. Tong Wei Company's booth was one of the more eye-catching ones. Of course, the most eye-catching ones were the girls who were dressed up like blooming flowers. Among them, Tong Wei was the most beautiful, even though she was only wearing light makeup. "She's so beautiful," Chuning exclaimed. "It is indeed very beautiful." Wang Yao smiled and walked over. "Hello, sir. Brother-in-law. Brother-in-law?" Wang Yao was stunned by this new address. Don't listen to their nonsense. "Why are you here? Have you finished your business?" "It's done." "How is the old man?" "It's all right." Because it was an exhibition, there were more people coming and going. It was also noisy. Wang Yao and Tong Wei chatted for a while, then walked around. After 4:30 p.m., there were fewer and fewer people in the exhibition. At 5 p.m., Tong Wei's company started to pack up the booth and ended the day's work. "You must be tired. Tonight's dinner is on me," Wang Yao said to the crowd with a smile. "Oh yeah, brother-in-law is so nice." The venue was chosen by Chuning. It was very grand and classy. It looked very high-end. The dishes were also delicious. The girls drank some wine and giggled. It was especially lively. Just as they were eating happily, the door of the private room was pushed open from the outside. Two men came in. They were both bald and quite strong. "Hey, why are you guys so noisy? Can't you let us eat?" It turned out that they came over because the people in the private room were too noisy. But to be honest, their voices weren't that loud. When the two men saw that it was a few beautiful girls, their eyes lit up. When they saw Tong Wei and Chuning, their eyes lit up even more. "Beauties, I'm sorry. Let's be friends." One of the men pulled a stool over very naturally and was about to sit down. With a thud, his buttocks made intimate contact with the shiny floor that could be used as a mirror. Damn, it was very painful. He stood up and looked at the stool behind him. What's going on? He did not follow the procedure. He wanted to pretend, but he did not expect to make a mistake. "Get out!" When Wang Yao was about to say something, Chuning, who was beside him, stood up and said coldly, "Hey girl, don't pull a long face. Give me a smile. Let's be friends." The man stood up and instantly forgot the pain in his buttocks. "Get out," Chuning said coldly. "Hey, ice beauty. I like it." Ouch. Bang. The man flew out directly. His face made intimate contact with the wall outside, making a sound like mud pasted on the wall. It must be very painful and very satisfying. Then Chuning followed him out. "Are you okay?" Tong Wei, who was beside Wang Yao, pulled his arm and asked. "I'm fine. You guys eat first. I'll go out and have a look." "Do you know that I'm—" With a crisp sound, the man's cheeks puffed up directly. Wang Yao did not expect Chuning to be so fierce. Looking at her face, it was obvious that she was quite disgusted with this kind of person. "Don't think about getting out of here today." The man struggled to stand up. He covered his cheeks and said ruthlessly. Soon, 7 or 8 men rushed out from the nearby private rooms. "I'll do it," Wang Yao said with a smile. Then, his figure flashed and rushed over. Like a saucer playing with flowers, he pointed his finger a few times. Thud, thud. One by one, the men fell to the ground directly and fainted. "Okay, you take care of the rest." Wang Yao smiled and said to Chuning, "No problem. Chuning just made a phone call." After a while, these people came to serve them. However, what surprised Wang Yao was that the people who came were not people from the public security department, but people from society. He did not ask more about these things. In the private room, everyone was still talking and laughing, but the atmosphere was not as cheerful as before. Those two guys. After dinner, the girls went back to the place arranged by the company. Wang Yao and Tong Wei took Chunying's car back to the small courtyard. "Are you still looking at the sky tonight?" "Yes," Wang Yao said with a smile. "I'll accompany you." "Okay." The two of them sat in the small courtyard. Wang Yao looked at the sky. Tong Wei also looked at the sky, but she could not see anything. Wang Yao looked at the sky. He released the neishi in his body to communicate with the heaven and earth. In the small courtyard, the cold wind blew again. The weather tomorrow may be hot, Wang Yao suddenly said. Hot? Yes, it is a bit abnormal. The next morning, there was no wind when they woke up. Tong Wei went to the exhibition center, and Wang Yao went to Su Xiaoshue's house. Su Xiaoshue's condition was recovering well. Wang Yao gave her the same treatment as last time. This treatment process was longer than last time. After the treatment, Su Xiaoshue suddenly told Wang Yao the news. Mr. Wang Yao, I feel that the neishi in my body has a reaction. What? Wang Yao was shocked. Try to adjust it. Wang Yao put his fingers on her wrist. Sure enough, his eyes lit up. So amazing. He was very surprised by Su Xiaoshue's talent. This girl had gone through so much pain. Now, God began to compensate her. This kind of understanding was simply monstrous. Even with the help of the system, it was understandable that the speed of practice was extraordinary. It was unbelievable that lying in the hospital bed and with just a few words could make such progress. Yes, there is indeed a reaction. Thank you for teaching me the method, Su Xiaoshue said. I just gave you a general method, Wang Yao said. This is the result of your own efforts. After a few words with Su Xiaoshue, Wang Yao left the room. Dr. Wang, I have a question to ask, Song Ruiping said. Please go ahead. Song Ruiping then expressed her concern. It turned out that she was worried about her daughter. To be precise, she was worried about her own practice. Don't worry, madam. This is good for her and not harmful, Wang Yao said. This was something that many people wanted to know, but could not. Chapter 382. Most people still thought that this kind of thing could go wrong if they practiced it. They thought that it could lead to qi deviation, causing them to lose their minds or even their lives. This was a misconception. Wang Yao only gave a simple explanation. It was not good to say too much. In the next 2 days, Wang Yao successively treated Su Xiaoshue, Qinzhou, and the old man lying on the bed. At the same time, he took some time to accompany Tong Wei. On the 5th day of Tong Wei's visit, the exhibition ended. She was going back to Dao. I'll go back with you, Wang Yao said. Let's go back together? You're not in Jing anymore? Through the conversation in the past few days, she knew that Wang Yao came to Jing to treat patients. Moreover, there was more than one patient. One of them seemed to have a special identity. Let's go back first. I'll come back later. He had been in Jing for more than a week. He missed his family in Nanshan Hill. Moreover, he had achieved his purpose of coming to Jing. Su Xiaoshue's condition had improved further. The next step was to find a way to restore her mobility. He needed to go back and prepare the medicine. Okay, let's go back together, Tong Wei said with a smile. After that, Wang Yao told Qining about this matter and asked her to pass on the message. He also told Mr. Xing about it. When will you come back? Qining didn't want Wang Yao to leave. After all, her brother's illness had shown signs of improvement. However, she also knew that she couldn't stop him. After hearing the news, Mr. Xing rushed to the small courtyard as fast as he could. In the past 2 days, Wang Yao had treated his boss twice. The effect was surprisingly good. His wife could even move her left hand very slightly. Under such circumstances, he naturally didn't want Wang Yao to leave. Dr. Wang, can you stay for 2 more days? The old man asked very sincerely. I'll come back. You don't have to worry about that, Wang Yao said with a smile. He hoped to use the efficacy of the blood deblicking powder to treat the old man's wife's illness. The treatment effect would be better. Su Xiaoshue also needed the medicine, but he didn't bring it with him. Then when will you come again? As soon as possible. Wang Yao didn't dare to guarantee the time. He had to stay at home for a while. All right, you must let me know when you come. All right. Hearing that Wang Yao was leaving, Song Ruiping came over in person. In addition to the medical fees, she also brought another gift. This is? Seeing the thing she brought, Wang Yao was stunned. It looked like a piece of white meat. It was about the size of a fist and was sealed in a glass bottle. Tai Sui. The meat Ganoderma lucidum was also commonly known as the Tai Sui fungus. It was a magical thing. It was not a plant, animal, or microorganism, but it had magical effects. It was listed as a top-grade medicine in the Shinnong's Herbal Classic. It could be used to nourish the vital energy, increase wisdom, and make the body lighter. In fact, the meat Ganoderma lucidum was a very rare medicinal herb. It had magical effects in treating many diseases, such as tumors and organ failure. However, it was too rare. So far, the mechanism of its growth had not been figured out. It cannot be artificially cultivated. Even if it was used in medicine, it could only be used by chance. Thank you. The effect of the meat Ganoderma lucidum in Song Ruiping's hands was limited. If it was given to Wang Yao, he could make full use of it. After he went back, he would bury it in the spirit-gathering battle array on Nanshan Hill to see if it would grow. The meat Ganoderma lucidum was very precious. Dr. Wang, you are welcome. This kind of thing can play a better role in your hands, Song Ruiping said with a smile. Chuning had arranged a ticket for him. It was the same flight as Tong Wei, but it was first class. Thank you for your meticulous care in the past few days. You have to continue to collect tracking videos of your brother's illness. I will think of a better treatment when I go back, Wang Yao said to Chuning before he left. Okay, I will keep it in mind. Just like that, he left Beijing again. He left a bit suddenly. Maybe something happened at home? I heard from Chuning that his girlfriend also came to Beijing. This time, he will go back with her. He has a girlfriend? Yes. On the plane, Wang Yao sat on the edge of the bed and looked outside. Under the wing of the plane, there were white clouds. Oh, the person next to him thought that his brother was sleeping soundly and was snoring directly. How could he fall asleep in such a short distance? Nothing happened during the flight. The plane landed at the airport in Dao. After getting off the plane, Tong Wei went to the company first. She handed over some things in her hands and then left the company. It was already afternoon. She and Wang Yao chose a restaurant near the sea. They ordered a few dishes and chatted while eating. They could see the sea outside through the window. The waves were surging. How many days will you stay in Dao? I want to stay for one night. I will go back to Lianshan tomorrow, Wang Yao said. Oh, I won't go back with you. Okay, you go back to work first, Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay. Wang Yao looked at the sea outside. The sound of the wind came from outside the window. It is going to be cold. You have to wear more clothes. Got it, Tong Wei said with a smile. After lunch, they went back to their residence. The next day, Wang Yao went back to Lianshan County by himself. When he returned to the mountain village, it was morning. The village smoke was curling up. Occasionally, there was the sound of chickens crowing and dogs barking. It was very familiar and warm. It's still better here, Wang Yao said with a smile. Uncle, Yao went out. Okay. At noon, there were not many people on the street. Most of the people he saw were elders. Wang Yao greeted them when he saw them. Dad, Mom, I'm back. You are back. Have you eaten? Not yet. Wash your face first. I will heat it up for you. She heated up the dishes and cooked 2 more dishes for her son. It was not delicate enough, nor was it very delicious. However, it tasted like home. It was very smooth for him to eat. Is everything going well in Jing? Very well. My aunt's family is also very good, Wang Yao said. That's good. By the way, when you were away, many people came to the village to see you, Zhang Xiuying said. Well, did they come to the house? A few people came, but they all left soon after. That's good. Wang Yao was also worried that these people would bring some bad influence to the normal life of the family. His mother was more sensitive and liked to be lively, but his father, Wang Fenghua, did not like it very much. A few people have come several times. They look very anxious. I see. After eating, Wang Yao gave his parents a massage to relax their muscles and bones. He then went out. He did not go to the clinic. Instead, he went to Nanshan Hill. It was now late autumn. Most of the leaves on the hill had turned yellow and fallen to the ground. The mountain wind was very cold. Between heaven and earth, there was a bleak atmosphere. It was said that autumn was bleak, but Wang Yao also liked autumn the most. He liked the high sky, the cool weather, and the bleakness. What a good day. Wang Yao raised his head and looked at the blue sky. It was very difficult to see such a pure sky in Jing. After bypassing a mountain, Nanshan Hill was not far ahead. It stood there quietly. The lush green on the mountain looked so different. It was already autumn, but it looked like summer, which violated the laws of nature. Nanshan Hill was very emotional. He walked up the hill with light steps. Xian came down the hill early and came to him. He circled around him and wagged his tail happily. Xian, why do I feel that you have gained weight again? Wang Yao leaned over and stroked Xian's head with a smile. Woof, woof. Let's go. A man and a dog went up the hill. The illusion was still there. The trees that formed the illusion were now as thick as a child's wrist and much taller. Not bad. He entered the illusion and walked around carefully. The growth of the ordinary herbs was naturally good. The licorice roots were also growing well. The 2 newly planted licorice roots were also growing well. This time I brought back something new. He took out the meat, glossy Ganoderma that was soaked in water from the box that he carried with him. Woof, woof, woof. Xian sniffed and then began to bark. Apparently, he did not like things that did not look good. Haha, this is good stuff. Wang Yao was not in a hurry to bury it in the soil. He had to think carefully about how to do it. He did not want the meat, glossy Ganoderma to be ruined after he bought it. That would be a pity. Where is this Xia? Woof, woof, woof. Xian barked a few times at the sky. Okay. Wang Yao nodded to show that he knew. There was no problem with the herbal field. He went out and went up the hill. He walked around Nanshan Hill. In addition to his herbal field, there were not many trees on the hill. Most of them were low shrubs and weeds. Wang Yao walked slowly on the hill and felt the mountain wind. It was very comfortable. This was a feeling that he had never had in Jing. It was relaxed, natural, and there was no sense of oppression. It was still better on the hill. He sighed. Ring. Buzz. After a while, he received several text messages. They were sent by several friends, asking where he was now. When they heard that he had come back, Wang Mingbao and others called him and asked him to go out for a gathering. In 2 days, he spent the night on Nanshan Hill. A lamp looked like a broad beam from afar. Wang Yao wrote down the treatment process and experience of his trip to Jing in 2 special notebooks. One was for the difficult and miscellaneous diseases, and the other was for the common diseases. As the number of patients he treated increased, his medical skills also improved. With the experience instilled by the system, he still needed to practice. It was not until late at night that he turned off the light and went to sleep. The next day, he got up early in the morning and went up the hill to practice. His current practice was supplemented by boxing and communication with heaven and earth. Chapter 383. He stood on top of the mountain rock at the highest point. It was as if this world had become one with him. This was a very mysterious feeling. With his eyes closed, he could feel the changes in the world around him. The wind rose, the leaves fell, the insects chirped, and the spring gushed. He was a part of this world, but he was aware of all the minute details around him. Inhale, inhale. The wind blew. Wang Yao casually waved his hand, and something invisible gathered in his palm. Go! With a fierce palm strike, a gust of wind blew, causing the grass and trees to bend. Good morning, hero. Wang Yao's voice was not loud, but it went straight to the sky. This place is still the best. Looking at the surrounding territory, it wasn't as steep and long as the mountains outside the capital. It couldn't even be called a mountain, but it looked so familiar. Make a fire, burn wood, boil water, and cook. It was a simple meal. After that, Wang Yao read a Taoist scripture on the mountain. It was rare for the place to be so quiet. At the foot of the mountain, some people had already entered the mountain village and came directly to the outside of the clinic. Hey, why is the door still locked? That's right. It's been almost a week, right? Hey, did you guys notice? The wooden sign that was originally hanging on the wooden door has been removed. Originally, when Wang Yao left the mountain village for the capital, he hung a sign outside the door to remind people that the clinic was temporarily closed. When he came back yesterday, he took down the sign. That means he's already back? Let's wait a little longer. Several people were waiting outside the clinic. Not long after, they saw Wang Yao leisurely walking down the mountain path. Hey, look, that's Dr. Wang. One of them recognized Wang Yao and shouted happily when he saw him. Wang Yao heard the sound from afar. He looked up and saw the people standing outside his clinic. What was going on? He came to see the doctor so early. Hello, Dr. Wang. Hello, Wang Yao replied with a smile. In fact, he didn't know who this person was at all. However, one shouldn't slap a smiling face. Since this person knew him, he probably came to see him earlier. Dr. Wang, have you been away recently? Yes, I'm going out for a while. Oh, I've been here 3 times already. Is that so? Please come in. Wang Yao felt rather apologetic after hearing this. She had made 3 trips just to see a doctor. It was really not easy. These people who came to see him were all old people in their 40s or 50s. They seemed to be in good spirits. Please have a seat. The clinic was very quiet. No one said anything. The few people consciously lined up according to the time they came. Are you not feeling well? After eating, I felt bloated, uncomfortable, and nauseous, the old man said. Really? Have you been to the hospital? Yes, the hospital said I was fine, the old man said. They gave me some medicine to regulate my qi, but I didn't get better after taking it. Oh, let me take a look at you. From the outside, the old man's complexion was fine, but his breathing was slightly hot and slightly sour. You're fine. After checking the old man's pulse, Wang Yao smiled and said, You're fine. Do you like to eat meat for dinner? Yes, I like to eat meat, the old man said with a smile. At this time, I like to eat mutton. It's not a big problem for you. You just ate too much greasy food at night, which increased the burden on your stomach. After a long time, your stomach will be damaged, so you will have abdominal distension and nausea, Wang Yao said with a smile. Oh, so I'm fine? The old man was relieved. I can't say that you're fine. You have to change this habit. Otherwise, sooner or later, there will be problems. Wang Yao gave him some simple stomach and digestive medicine. In fact, these things were auxiliary. They mainly depended on the old man's personal habits to change. In real life, a considerable number of diseases were caused by bad living habits. Thank you. The old man left with a smile. Wang Yao estimated that it would be difficult for the old man to change his living habits after he went back. In this way, his illness would worsen after a period of time. The second old man's illness was more serious. He had severe cold in his legs. He felt pain in his legs when he walked. It was slightly better when the weather was warm. Now that it was cold, he only felt that his legs were cold and painful. He did not dare to move when he walked. This was a typical cold that hurt the tendons and veins in the legs. The disease went into the muscles and could be treated with decoction. Let me give you a massage first. Wang Yao then urged his neishi to massage the old man's legs. The old man felt that wherever the young man's hands touched, there was a warm feeling. It was very comfortable. This feeling was more effective than using a hot water pack to heat up the old man's legs. Not only that, the faint tingling in his legs also disappeared. How do you feel? Comfortable, really comfortable, the old man said. That's good. Wang Yao gave him a simple prescription. It was a medicine to expel the cold and boiled water with mugwort to soak his feet. This medicine needs a course of treatment. Hey, Dr. Wang, I've boiled mugwort to soak my feet, but it didn't have much effect. Try again with the medicine. If it doesn't work after a month, come to me again, Wang Yao said. Okay, I'll try again, the old man said. In fact, some people's illnesses did not get better or even worsen after seeing a doctor. A big reason was that they did not follow the doctor's advice. They either did not take the medicine on time or did not pay attention to the things that they should pay attention to. These things were not something that the doctor could control. It mainly depended on the person's self-control and the constraints of the person's family. The third person was the youngest among the people who came in the morning. He looked to be in his early 40s. Judging by his dressing, he could be considered a successful person. Hello. What do you feel uncomfortable? The person did not speak for a long time. He seemed to be hesitating and thinking. Wang Yao was not in a hurry. He waited there. Well, I have a strong desire in that area, the person said after a moment of silence. After saying this, his face turned redder. In fact, it was very difficult to say this. He had been to the hospital, but the doctors there gave him a blood test, a urine test, an ultrasound, and an electrocardiogram. He always felt that those tests were not related to his illness at all. After a series of tests, there was no result. He was only prescribed some medicine to calm his nerves. What a joke. The medicine did not work at all. With his current needs, he had to do it 3 times a day. His wife could not stand it. If he did not do it, he would feel uncomfortable. It was as if he had found a fire. He felt very uncomfortable all over. He could not do anything and would get angry easily. This had already made him and his wife unhappy. He was worried that it would be worse if it went on. He came here because he heard about it. Strong. Wang Yao saw that the man's eyes were dazed. His breathing was slightly rapid, and his face was red. These were symptoms of excessive yang fire. Let me take a look. After checking the man's pulse, Wang Yao found that the man's situation was similar to Sun Yunxing's, but it was much milder. Well, I'll treat you. Wang Yao asked the patient to take off his coat. He then treated him in his own unique way. He absorbed the yang toxins in the man's meridians into his body. He then used his own pure neishi to eliminate them. In the beginning, the man did not feel anything special. Gradually, he felt a warm sensation on his back. Then, he felt a burning sensation, as if he was being roasted by a fire. However, this fire was burning from the inside of his body. Fortunately, there were only the 2 of them in the entire clinic. If there were other people, they would definitely be shocked by his unique treatment, just like the middle-aged man. This process lasted for more than an hour. How do you feel? Wang Yao asked. Much better, the middle-aged man said. Before the treatment, he always felt a heat in his body from time to time. His mouth and tongue were dry. Drinking water did not help. He often couldn't help but think about those things. Now, he felt much calmer, even if it was only temporary. Thank you, the man said very sincerely. He had never felt so comfortable in his body for a long time. It was just that the treatment was so magical that it subverted his understanding. What is this? Is this the legendary Qigong? Today's treatment will end here. Let's talk, Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay. The man was stunned for a moment before nodding. In fact, when he saw Sun Yunxing's strange disease, Wang Yao was very curious. He wanted to know how he got this strange disease. Wang Yao asked him some questions, such as when he felt something wrong with his body and what special hobbies and habits he had in his daily life. As he asked, he recorded some possible problems. After some questioning, he found that there was nothing special about Sun Yunxing except that he liked to eat some hot food. Another thing was that he was full of vitality in his middle age, which was a characteristic of his personal body. Are you a businessman? Wang Yao asked. Yes, I'm a businessman. I'm in the tea business. Do you feel any pressure? Wang Yao asked. Not really. Not much pressure. Do you usually like to drink tea? Wang Yao asked. Not really. The man answered truthfully. The 2 of them were chatting as if they were friends. Okay, I see. Wang Yao thought for a while and gave him a prescription. The prescription was mainly made of bamboo leaves, peach kernels, honeysuckle, thistle, and some other blood-cooling herbs. Take this medicine back and take it. See the list for the specific prescription. On the list, not only did he write down the method of taking the medicine, but he also wrote down some things to take note of. The man expressed his gratitude and left. He will come back. Wang Yao thought. Sun Yunxing's problem was not completely solved. Wang Yao did not find the root cause of his strange disease. Is this also a hard-to-treat disease? No. This was the system's reply. Chapter 384. After hearing this reply, he was a little disappointed. He called up the system panel. Currently, he had not completed the 2 tasks. The difficult-to-treat disease panel showed that he had cured 3 people: Wei Hai, Yang Haichuan's mother, and Zhou Xiong's son. In addition to them, Sun Yunxing and Su Xiaoshua's illness had also improved. Chun Ying's brother also showed signs of recovery. As for Zhou Xiong's uncle, Zhou Wuxing, he had not visited him for a long time. So-called difficult diseases were usually encountered but not sought. Should I sit and wait for the guest to come, or go out for a walk? After all, he could wait, but time would not. In a house in Lianshan County, Dad, what did you buy? Nonsense, of course, it's medicine. It's medicine to cure my old leg, the old man said happily. Did you see any effect today? Of course, until now, my leg is still warm. It doesn't hurt at all, the old man said. When the son heard the good news, he immediately pulled his father and asked, Is that so? Tell me how he cured it. Treatment? It's massage. The old man sat down and thought for a while. What? Is it just a massage? His son was stunned. Yes, massage. Until now, the old man felt that Wang Yao's treatment was a little simple, but the effect was so magical. But his massage method is different from others, and the effect is better, the old man thought for a while and said. No matter how good it is, it's still a massage. I've never heard of anyone who can cure old leg. Dad, how much did he charge you? His son had begun to wonder if his father had been cheated. Money, a total of 100 yuan, the old man said. 100 yuan? That's not too much. The price mentioned by the old man was only a part of the price of the medicine Wang Yao gave him. The most important treatment, Neishi treatment, was not charged. The price was not easy to set. After all, it was a unique thing. The same thing happened in another old man's house. Dad, have you been cheated? Are these medicine only worth 300 yuan? His son obviously felt that his father had been cheated. No matter how he looked at it, those bags of medicine were not worth 300 yuan. These herbs were all wild herbs with remarkable medicinal effects. If they were to buy them themselves, they would definitely not be able to buy them with 300 yuan. He's quite famous. Famous? That's just a bluff. I heard you say that he's quite young, right? Not old, about 26 or 27 years old. He's just a doctor in his 20s. How capable can he be? He can only deceive old people like you who don't know anything. Listen to me. Don't do it again next time. Treat this as a lesson that you paid for, his son said. Come, let's eat. I made your favorite braised pork with preserved vegetables. The doctor told me to eat less meat. Hey, you still believe his words? The old man hesitated for a moment and only ate a few pieces of meat that night. Well, meat is still the best. In front of his favorite food, he forgot Wang Yao's advice. In the mountain village, Wang Yao received 6 patients in one day. They all came because of his reputation. This doctor is so young. This was the common comment of those who saw him for the first time. His medical skills are good. He's capable. This was the comment of those who had been cured. Can he really do it? This was the comment of those who had no effect after treatment. He looks so young. I know he's unreliable. I was cheated. This was the comment of those who had no effect after treatment. Most of these comments were not heard by Wang Yao. Even if he heard them, he would not care. At this time, he was sorting out the records of today's patients in the medical center. These things were precious experiences that could be passed on after being accumulated. Moreover, he had already controlled them effectively. He tried not to use licorice roots and neishi as much as possible. Near evening, Wang Mingbao returned to the village from Lianshan County. When he saw him again, it had only been a week. He seemed to have lost a lot of weight and looked haggard. Is everything going well in Jing? It's fine. Have some tea. Thank you. The two of them sat down and chatted. You've lost a lot of weight recently. Do you have something on your mind? No, I just went on a long trip, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. We're brothers. Just tell me if you have something to say. It's really nothing. I went to Shangjuan, Wang Mingbao said. Shangjuan? What'd you do there? Well, I went to see someone, Wang Mingbao said as he lit a cigarette. See someone? Hearing his answer, Wang Yao was slightly startled. Who is it? A boy who dropped out of school. What? Wang Yao was stunned all of a sudden. A boy who dropped out of school? Yes, in fact, it was also an accident. I saw a website about charity education in the evening. I wanted to go and have a look. I was on in a good mood some time ago, so I thought I would go and relax. After I saw it, I was greatly moved, Wang Mingbao said. A mountain village? Yes, a mountain village. I really didn't know there was such a poor place in the world, Wang Mingbao sighed. The children there don't drink milk. Wang Yao was silent after hearing that. I stayed there for 2 days and gave all the money I had to the child. His family thanked me profusely. I suddenly realized that helping people is actually quite good, especially those who are kind and simple, Wang Mingbao said. Take me there when you have time. Okay, Wang Mingbao said. Based on their current situation, they were not sure of money. They could basically live a free life. Sometimes it was necessary to do something meaningful in life, especially after you had a certain foundation. Giving back to society was a must. Of course, there were still quite a lot of people in society who were heartless because they were rich, but there was still some positive energy. It was just that they were rarely known. By the way, there's another problem. The children in that mountain village are very weak. They get sick easily. In a poor village, the nutrition can't keep up. Their physical fitness is poor. Naturally, they get sick easily, Wang Yao said. Actually, the money I left can't be used for anything. A person's ability is limited. You are not a billionaire, Wang Yao said. When we have time, let's go and have a look together. Maybe I can get some donations from an XIN, Wang Yao said with a smile. He could donate some money himself or ask for donations from people he knew. It would depend on what Wang Mingbao said. Come to my house for dinner tonight. No, I'll stay at home with my grandparents. They have already prepared dinner. Okay. Wang Mingbao and Wang Yao chatted for a while. Then, they left the clinic together and went home. Yao, are you free tomorrow? Zhang Xiuying asked during dinner. Yes, what's the matter? Come with me to your grandmother's house. Okay. While eating, Wang Yao received a call from his sister. What? Okay, I got it. I'll go now. Mom, I have to go to town to do something. I may not come back tonight, Wang Yao said as he got up. You haven't finished your dinner yet. I'm not eating. Drive safe. Okay. Wang Yao drove to Lianshan County in a hurry. His sister had just called to tell him that she had a car accident. She asked him not to tell his parents. Wang Yao called Pan Jun in the car because his sister was in the county hospital. Pan Jun was eating. After receiving the call, he put down his chopsticks and went to the hospital without saying anything. What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry? You guys eat first. When Wang Yao arrived at the hospital, his sister had already finished the examination. She was limping to talk to Pan Jun. How is she? She's fine. She just scraped her skin and bruised her muscles. She didn't hurt her bones, Pan Jun said. What happened? Don't mention it. I was shopping with my friends on the street. I don't know where a car came from. Fortunately, we dodged quickly. Otherwise, we would have been run over, Wang Ru said. She still had a lingering fear when talking about it. Where is the driver? Wang Yao asked. He was drunk driving. He ran away a long time ago, Wang Ru said. The law is so strict now, but he still dares to drink and drive. Where's your friend? Her arm is fractured. She is still in a cast, Wang Ru said. Have you called the police? Wang Yao asked. Yes, but they are still looking for the driver, Wang Ru said. This was already considered a hit and run. Although no one was killed, 2 people were injured. According to the relevant laws, the driver could be sentenced. Okay, as long as you were fine. You didn't tell our parents, right? No. Chapter 385. That's good. Wang Ru was still worried that her parents would be worried about her because of this incident. Come on, let me take a look at you. Wang Yao was still worried. I'm fine. I've already taken an x-ray and done all kinds of tests, Wang Ru said. Let me take a look. Wang Yao carefully checked his sister. After making sure that she really only had superficial injuries, he was slightly relieved. Be careful in the future. I know. Seeing that her brother was so concerned about her, Wang Ru was quite happy. If your face is disfigured, it will be even harder for you to get married. The next sentence made her want to strangle Wang Yao directly. Hurry up and leave. Huh, her chi and blood are smooth. She's fine. By the way, my colleague is badly injured. Can you go and take a look at her? Wang Ru asked. Okay, let's go and have a look together. Wang Ru's colleague was a 27-year-old girl who was a little chubby. During the car accident, her position was relatively back, and then she suffered fracture. She's fine. It's just a normal fracture. It didn't hurt her internal organs. A simple fracture could be treated by a general hospital. This kind of thing didn't need to be done by himself. Besides, he didn't have any special medicine in his hands. That's good. As soon as the 2 of them came out of the ward, they received a call from home. It was Wang Yao's mother who called. Obviously, she was worried about Wang Yao. Yao, where are you? Mom, I'm in the county. I'm fine. Don't worry. That's good to hear, Zhang Xiaoying on the other side of the phone said. You should go to bed early. I may go back late at night. If it's too late, don't come back. Find a place to stay in the county. If you can't, go to your sister's place. Okay. After thanking Pan Jun, Wang Yao and his sister left the hospital and drove her back to her residence. Let me give you a massage. Although Wang Ru didn't suffer any serious injuries, there was still some blood clots because of sprained muscles. It would definitely be painful. Sure, I'll enjoy it too, Wang Ru said with a smile. After that, Wang Yao used his unique technique to carefully massage the injured part of her body, which could be considered as pushing the palace to clear the acupoints, promoting blood circulation and removing blood stasis. Well, you can take a leave of absence for the next 2 days. Don't go to work. Stay at home and recuperate. I'll come back the day after tomorrow, Wang Yao said. All right, I'll head back first. It's already so late. Stay here for the night. Don't worry, it's not far. Wang Yao went downstairs and was about to get into the car when he saw someone sneaking around downstairs. What are you doing? He stepped forward and scolded. It's none of your business. The man was shocked. When he turned around and saw Wang Yao, his face turned ferocious. Hee hee. Wang Yao didn't care whether he did it on purpose or not. He went forward and slapped him. The man fell to the ground holding his stomach and vomited. He threw up all the food he had eaten that night. Go back and think about what you have done wrong, and then pray for Bodhisattva's forgiveness. After that, Wang Yao drove away. This was his sister's residence. No one with bad intentions was allowed to live here. On his way out, he took a look at the report. He was playing with his phone in the duty room. This kind of property management is not good. He glanced at the billboard on the wall and the residential property management's phone number. Well, I'll ask them tomorrow. Wang Yao drove on the wide road. It was already past 10 o'clock at night. There were not many cars on the roads in the county. On the roads outside, he could not even see a car after driving for a few kilometers. Moreover, there were no streetlights, so it was almost pitch black. Wang Yao drove the car like a leopard in the dark. This feeling was very strange. Save me. He heard someone shouting. Then he stepped on the brakes. The car stopped dozens of meters away. He got out of the car and saw a motorcycle parked by the side of the road. There were also several figures in the woods by the side of the road. He quickly walked over. Who is it? A loud roar was heard. It was like thunder. F***CK. Brother, there are people outside. 2 people's voices came from the woods. Damn it. Let's go. The 2 people wanted to run, but they saw a person rush into the woods. Wang Yao rushed into the woods and saw 2 men and a woman on the ground. The matter was very obvious. 2 beasts were doing something worse than beasts. Hee hee. Wang Yao smiled. Boy, do you want to die? When they saw only Wang Yao, they became bolder. It was late at night, and they were in the wilderness. As for why the woman was pregnant at night, there was no need to delve into it. There were always so many coincidences. Without hesitation, Wang Yao rushed over and gave him 2 tight slaps across his face. The 2 men were directly slapped away. There seemed to be some blood and saliva floating in the air. Thump, thump. With 2 sounds, the 2 men fell to the ground. There were not only mud and grass on the ground, but also stones. Unfortunately, the 2 of them had landed on a stone. As everyone knew, the human body was relatively soft and could not be as hard as a stone. If it had to be hard, it would definitely hurt. Brother, he knows martial arts. This was already a very obvious thing. Damn it, don't blame us if you want to die. One of the men took out a shining knife. Seeing this, the other companion also took out a knife. They were going to hurt people. Slap, slap. 2 more slaps. The 2 men were sent flying again. This time, it seemed that a few teeth flew out. The 2 men fell heavily to the ground. It hurt too much. It turned out that no matter how good one's martial arts was, they were still afraid of a kitchen knife. This required a certain background and conditions to be true. This was what the 2 men felt. The pain came from their backs, faces, and waists. Now they understood that the person who suddenly appeared in the middle of the night to ruin their good things was not a lunatic, nor was he hot-headed to do something righteous. He was really capable and was not someone they could deal with. Run. If they could not beat him, they would run. This was the common idea of these illegal people. If they could not run, they would beg for mercy. Obviously, they could not run because they had just run 2 steps when they saw that the person had already blocked their way. Just a moment ago, the person was behind them. It was just a blink of an eye. How could his speed be so fast? Where did he copy from? Slap, slap. 2 more slaps. They had intimate contact with the ground again. They were dumbfounded. The woman who hurriedly packed her clothes was also dumbfounded. Why did this person like to slap people's faces? We were wrong. Hero, please spare our lives. After the leader got up, he directly knelt on the ground. He could not beat him, nor could he run. He could only beg for mercy. Now you remember that you were wrong. Go and tell the police. Wang Yao approached them and quickly tapped them a few times. Are you okay? He walked to the woman's side. I'm fine. Don't walk alone at night. The child at home suddenly had a fever, so I rushed back to see him. Okay, hurry home. Thank you. The woman, who was still in shock, hurriedly escaped and quickly left on her motorcycle. Wang Yao ignored the 2 people in the forest. He directly got into the car and drove away. Brother, he left. The 2 people were stunned. What did this mean? Just now, he had tortured them to death. Why did he turn around and leave? It's good that he left. What about us? Nonsense, of course. We're going home. I lost 2 teeth. Then let's go to see a doctor. Brother, why is my lower part hard? You're still thinking about this damn thing now? Do you want to die? That's not right. Why is there a problem with my lower part? A cold wind blew. The 2 people in the forest were stunned. After such a torment, their whole body was in pain. How could their lower part still be like this? Was the desire so strong? When they returned home, they realized that something was wrong. Why wasn't it gone? Wasn't it too strong? After such a situation lasted for more than an hour, they panicked. Without injections, without taking medicine, and without falling down, this was every man's dream. But if it really fell on their body, and it was that kind of hard for no reason, it would make people suspicious and afraid. Not everyone was like Yang Ding Tian. Chapter 386. Wang Yao drove back home safely. He didn't encounter anything else. For him, today was just a day of some accidents because there were too many accidents that had happened. His sister had a car accident, met a sneaky person with bad intentions, and met 2 people who were really doing bad things. After he left the car, he went straight to Nanshan Hill. It was already 11 o'clock at night. The village was very quiet. Occasionally, he could hear dogs barking. He was fine, but some people were going to lose their lives. For example, this person began to vomit after being slapped at night. After vomiting all the food he ate, he began to vomit acid. Then, he had diarrhea. After that, he began to have diarrhea. It was a life-threatening thing. He was so scared that his face turned pale. He felt like his soul had left his body. He wanted to cry, but he didn't have the strength to do so. What the F***CK is going on? He had gone to the hospital, but the hospital couldn't do anything about it. What the hell is wrong with you? Not only was he panicking, but his wife and family were also panicking. They had seen vomiting and diarrhea, but they had never seen such a serious case. Wasn't this life-threatening? How would I know? At this time, he remembered Wang Yao's words. Please forgive me, Bodhisattva. What does that mean? Needless to say, his family really worshipped the Bodhisattva of Guan Serene. Perhaps he had done a lot of sneaky things in his life and was afraid of retribution. Every 1st and 15th day of the lunar month, he would burn incense and pray for the Bodhisattva to bless him. Please, I beg you again. He was directly in front of the statue of the Bodhisattva. Merciful and merciful Bodhisattva of Guan Serene, I won't do this kind of sneaky things anymore. Please bless me. I don't want to be tortured like this anymore. He knelt on the ground and kowtowed loudly. His family was scared. What's going on? Why is he worshipping the Bodhisattva in the middle of the night like this? Is he possessed by something? His family was scared. His neighbors downstairs were also shocked. What's going on? Why is he kowtowing in the middle of the night? Can't he sleep? However, the Bodhisattva didn't bless him immediately. He still vomited and diarrhea. Shall we go to the hospital in the city? His family couldn't wait any longer. If this continued, they might be finished. Okay, let's go to the hospital in the city. The whole family went to hike that very night, in a village in Lianshan County. Big brother, what are you doing? Why aren't you sleeping in the middle of the night? I can't sleep. My lower body is hard. I don't know what's going on. Isn't it the same for me? Go back to sleep. I'll be fine after a good night's sleep. I soaked it in cold water and used my hands, but it didn't work. Brother, could it be that person's trick? I can't be crippled in the future, right? What nonsense. To be honest, the leader was also afraid. He had been holding on for a few hours. He had seen powerful men, but he had never seen such a powerful one. If this was used on a woman, it would be very impressive. But the two of them were old bachelors in the village. If they had a wife, they wouldn't do such a thing. Why don't we go to the town's clinic? Nonsense, how can we look at this? Those people can't even give me an injection. They can't treat this disease. To be honest, he was also panicking, but he still had hope. Go back to sleep. Okay, I'll go back to sleep first. In their current situation, they couldn't fall asleep even if they went back. As a result, the two of them almost watched until dawn. Then, their lower body was as hard as before. It was as if they were really indestructible. What should we do? This time, the two of them were really dumbfounded. Let's go to the hospital. The two of them thought of the only effective solution at the moment. Then, they took a taxi to the hospital and found a specialist clinic. In fact, in the county, there are not many people who came to this clinic. Especially in this area of diseases, it was a private matter. Most people would rather look for some faux prescriptions or wild doctors than go to a regular hospital. They were afraid that others would talk behind their backs and laugh at them. It was fine as long as they knew about their own illness. As soon as he saw the situation of the two of them, the doctor was stunned. It has been a night. Yes. Have you taken medicine? This medicine is strong enough. What brand is it? The doctor asked. He had seen strong medicine, but he had never seen such strong medicine. Could it be that they had taken the medicine as calcium tablets or jelly beans? We didn't take medicine. You didn't take medicine? If you didn't take medicine, how did this happen? We don't know, so we came to see a doctor. According to the character of the ruffians in the village, they would have slapped him in the face. Are you a King doctor? Why are you asking us what's going on? If we knew, why would we come to the hospital? The doctor looked at the work of the two of them carefully and glanced at it. I don't know why either. What? The two of them were stunned. You have been looking at it for a long time, and you don't know why? Yes, the doctor said seriously and pushed his glasses up. What harm will it do to our bodies? It's hard to say, the doctor said. If it continues like this, it is estimated that it will not be able to recover in the future. It may even be due to excessive congestion and necrosis. Necrosis? The two of them were stunned. Cold sweat ran down their backs. Can you cure it? The doctor was a little hesitant. He had never treated such a disease. Let's go, the slightly stronger man said. But, brother, the doctor hasn't said anything yet. What? Look at his stupid face. It would be strange if he could cure it. He is a standard quack, Biaozi. You? The doctor was angry as soon as he heard that. What kind of attitude was this? What? Can I? The man turned and looked at him with a fierce face. He was already full of anger. If the doctor dared to be long-winded, he would slap him. Yes, the doctor chose to endure. This disease can't be cured. Brother, what should we do? He couldn't keep it down there, could he? Go over to hike. If the hospital in the county couldn't cure it, they would go to the city. If the hospital in the city couldn't cure it, they would go to the province. If the hospital in the province couldn't cure it, they would go to Beijing. This idea was correct. The ability of medical institutions did indeed rise in this order. Okay, let's go to hike. So, the two of them took a taxi to hike in a mountain village. Your sister is Zhou. Call her and ask her to come back for dinner, Wang Yao's mother said. I don't think we should let her come back. She is so old. If she has time, she should find a partner outside. Wang Yao said. His sister had just had a car accident last night. She must still be injured. If she came back now, his parents would definitely ask. Once they asked, they would be exposed. You are right. Then, Wang Yao called his sister and called the community where she lived. We will investigate and deal with the matter immediately. This was a formal answer. When and how to deal with the investigation and dealing with it was a matter for another day. Someone in the village killed a sheep today. Do you want to have mutton for lunch? Okay, Wang Yao said with a smile. It was autumn and winter. It was the time to eat mutton. A family in the mountain village was slaughtering a sheep. The sheep had been killed and its skin had been peeled. All that was left was to cut the meat and remove the internal organs. However, when they were dealing with the internal organs, they unexpectedly found two small stone-like things in the sheep's body. They were hard to pinch. What is this? Hey, it can't be eaten. Just throw it away. I will keep it first. Just then, Wang Yao's mother came over. Give me some mutton. Okay. Leg of lamb. Also, give me some meat. Okay. Zhang Xiaoying asked for the mutton and was about to leave. Auntie, have you seen this before? The owner of the sheep took out the two stone-like things and handed them to Zhang Xiaoying. It was not big. No, I haven't seen it before. Where did you get it? I took it out from the sheep when I was slaughtering it. Then you can keep it. Ha! The man just smiled. Zhang Xiaoying returned home. She put down the meat and was dealing with it. She chatted with her husband about the matter. Stone? Wang Yao, who was about to go out, stopped. Chapter 387. Yes, do you know what it is? It should be a sheep's treasure. Sheep's treasure? Ah, it's like bezoar, horse's treasure, and go bao. It's a kind of stone in the sheep's body. It can be used as medicine. It's a kind of expensive Chinese medicine, Wang Yao explained. Is it very expensive? Very expensive. It's 1 in a million. You may not get one even if you kill 10,000 sheep, Wang Yao said. He had heard of bezoar and go bao, but sheep's treasure was indeed very rare, so it was very precious. What can sheep's treasure do? Zhang Xiaoying asked because she was curious. It calms shock and reduces phlegm. It can clear away heat and detoxify. It can treat epilepsy, delirium, poisoning, and other symptoms. Then the Feng family is going to be rich, Zhang Xiaoying said with a smile. He better take it seriously. If it's not stored properly, it could be destroyed directly, Wang Yao said. In fact, this kind of thing was indeed very precious. It could be used as medicine, dispensed, and treated some special diseases. However, if it was not stored properly, it could easily lose its medicinal effect. In that case, its value would be greatly reduced. Yes, the smell of the lamb in the big pot was very fragrant. Yes, it's a pity that you don't have the luck to eat it, Wang Yao said with a smile. I'm back. Damn it. Wang Yao almost threw the bowl in his hand out. Why are you back? Why can't I come back? You cooked the lamb, right? Why didn't you call me? Wang Ru stared at him. I didn't let him call you. Zhang Xiaoying came out of the room. You're a girl who's almost 30. Why don't you take advantage of your free time to find a boyfriend? You still have a mood to come back and eat lamb? Zhang Xiaoying's words almost choked Wang Ru to death. Mom, am I your biological daughter? I picked you up from the garbage dump, Zhang Xiaoying said angrily. Humph, I won't look for one. Ah, it's so hot, Wang Yao said after tasting the soup. It was indeed delicious. Wang Yao ignored the deadly gaze. Ever since he officially established his relationship with Tong Wei, his parents rarely talked about his marriage. His sister, on the other hand, was not young anymore, but there was always no news from her. He did not know what she was thinking. Filled with anger, Wang Ru drank 3 bowls of mutton soup at noon and then went back to her room to sleep. TSK, really? Wang Yao admired his sister. Hey, could it be that she doesn't like men? Thinking of this, Wang Yao trembled all over, as if there was some great terror. No, absolutely not. He shook his head as he walked out of the door and went up the hill. Hike City Hospital. Doctor, can you take a closer look? You have food poisoning, and it's very serious. You need to be hospitalized. The man who was slapped by Wang Yao and vomited came to the Hike People's Hospital. The doctor diagnosed him with severe food poisoning, and he needed to be hospitalized. Doctor, I really don't have food poisoning, the man said. If it's not food poisoning, then what's going on? I was slapped by someone and became like this. the man said. Are you the doctor, or am I the doctor? Since you don't believe me, why did you come to see me? The doctor was also angry. Okay. I'll listen to you. I'll be hospitalized for treatment. He had no choice but to be hospitalized. What if he could be cured? The same thing happened in another department of the Hike People's Hospital. The two men had been tough for almost a day and showed no signs of weakness. This did not make them happy at all. Instead, it made them more and more afraid. Hey, what medicine did you take? This was the doctor's question. Why was it still the same question? Doctor, I can tell you clearly that I didn't take any medicine. I haven't taken any medicine in the past month. Yes, doctor, me too. No, I caught a cold a week ago. I took cold medicine, but cold medicine doesn't have this effect. After hearing that, the doctor was speechless. I'll prescribe some medicine for you to try. To be honest, this was not the first time he had encountered such a situation. A few years ago, when he was studying in whose city, he had encountered a young master who had overdosed. However, it was not as serious as these two people. It had already been a day, and they were still holding on. One must know that if the muscles were in a state of tension for too long, there would be problems. This medical case was very special. Therefore, he remembered very clearly the medicine prescribed by the expert. The hospital had the medicine. Okay. To continue, the doctor just needed to inject the medicine, and it had to be injected in the vital part. Ouch, it hurts. After the medicine was injected, they felt pain. That part of the body was like a barbecue skewer being roasted on a flame. Who could stand it? What's going on? Damn, don't tell me we met another quack. No effect, and it was even more serious. This was not expected by the doctor. He was stunned. No matter how he looked at it, this problem should not have happened. Sorry, I didn't expect this. What? The two men were dumbfounded. Wait, the doctor's eyes lit up. There is another way. What is it? Bloodletting. Screams. Bloodletting did have an immediate effect. However, after a while, there were signs of bleeding again. What was going on? The doctor was stunned. He really had no idea what to do. You can consider going to the provincial hospital. Go to the provincial hospital. The two men were stunned. They regretted it very much. Why'd they have to do that thing that night? In the end, they did not succeed. Instead, they made such a thing happen. The provincial hospital? Let's go to the provincial hospital. Since it was related to their health and even life and death, they did not dare to delay. They directly went to the provincial hospital from Hike. Your massage technique is good. My swelling has gone down. Wang Ru chatted with Wang Yao while eating melon seeds. I think what you should consider now is not the swelling, but the problem of my brother-in-law. Wang Yao was a typical example of touching the pot that did not boil. Are you looking for trouble? Sister, I want to ask you something. Don't jump. Wang Yao asked carefully. What is it? Tell me. Well, do you like women? What? Wang Ru was stunned. You suspect that I am gay? Yes. Wang Yao nodded very seriously. Strictly speaking, this was also an illness. It was a cognitive or emotional illness. It was a terminal illness. I am not. Your sister's sexual orientation is very normal. I like men. Then find one. There is no suitable one. Wang Ru gritted her teeth and said, Don't tell me you told Mom and Dad the same thing? Almost. Wang Ru directly picked up the scissors from the table. What are you doing? If you dare to talk nonsense again, I will cut it for you. Wang Ru said fiercely. Well, let's not talk about this. Have you recovered from your injury? Yes. What about your colleague? He is in the hospital. He will probably stay in the hospital for a few more days. The siblings returned to their normal conversation. In the afternoon, Wang Yao was about to go out when he saw his mother coming out of the clinic. You are right. The sheep bow is very valuable. Someone bought it? Yes, 5,000. 5,000. Wang Yao was stunned. What's wrong? He sold it. No, Zhang Xiaoying said. Oh, the price may be a bit low, Wang Yao said with a smile. He had seen a lot on the internet. A cow bow could be sold for hundreds of thousands or even millions. Of course, the size and weight of the cow bow were definitely bigger than that of the sheep bow. On the way to the clinic, he received a call from Wang Mingbao. Save a person? Who is it? Wang Mingbao asked him to help save a person. It sounded very urgent. The person I told you about in Shangjuan, a child, Wang Mingbao said on the phone. What is the disease? Wang Yao asked. I don't know. They did not find out in Shangjuan. They have no money for treatment. Where are you now? On the way to Shangjuan, Wang Mingbao said. Okay, bring the person here. Wang Yao did not know what was wrong with his buddy. He suddenly had such a strong sense of justice and mission. However, this was a good thing. He would naturally support it. In the afternoon, Wang Yao cleaned up the clinic and picked a few bunches of grapes. It was late autumn, but the grapes were still being harvested. Chapter 388. Not only the grapes, but the other plants in the yard also didn't wither, which was a typical violation of a law of nature. Firstly, the ancient spring water had extraordinary effects. Secondly, it was also affected by the layout of the yard. After all, it could barely be called a battle array. That night, there was a theft in the village. The person who had just killed the sheep went into the house, but nothing was stolen, which scared Wang Fengho. You should sell it quickly. You don't need to care about the money. Anyway, it's free money, his wife said worriedly. After all, they had children at home. They were not afraid of thieves stealing, but they were afraid of thieves thinking about them. Okay, I'll sell it. 2 sheep's treasures were 20,000 yuan. It was indeed free money for them. It was equivalent to killing more than 100 sheep. It's too cheap, Wang Yao said after hearing the news. The rarer something was, the more valuable it was. This thing was very rare, so it was naturally very expensive. The person who bought it could make at least tens of thousands of yuan. But it's good to sell it. Since the incident, the village suddenly became popular to kill sheep. They could kill 2 or 3 sheep a day. They all wanted to make a windfall. After hearing the news, Wang Yao laughed. If sheep's treasures were so easy to get, they wouldn't be so valuable. The result was doomed. In 3 days, they killed more than a dozen sheep, but they didn't get a single sheep's treasure. Wang Yao used 2 days to harvest all the herbs on the mountain and then sold most of them through the system. He needed the herbs provided by the system to decoct the extraordinary potency of the medicine. He left some of them, dried some of them, and stir-fried some of them. There was also a big pot on the mountain, which was also a kind of exercise for him. He had the theory in his mind, but the actual practice was different. He needed to verify it carefully. Wang Mingbao came to the mountain village in the evening with a haggard middle-aged man and a thin, pale-faced child. The child looked about 6 or 7 years old. Because of his thin cheeks, his eyes were big and his hair was dry and yellow. They found Wang Yao as soon as they arrived. Malnutrition. This was the conclusion Wang Yao came to after seeing the child for the first time. His eyeballs were yellow, his liver was damaged, his breathing was weak, and his breath was insufficient. Not only the child, but the middle-aged man beside him was also in poor health. His expression was dim, his eyes were dull, and his hair was withered and yellow. The father and son were like seedlings that had been roasted by the heavens and earth. Where do you feel uncomfortable? It hurts all over, the child's father said. Your whole body hurts. Come, let me have a look. Wang Yao checked carefully and was shocked. Poisoning, a very serious poisoning. The poison had entered the 5 viscera, and the damage to the liver was especially serious. That was because it was the organ that detoxified the poison. This child's life was in danger now. He had to be detoxified immediately. As for the poison in his body, he would analyze it later. Wang Yao's detoxification method was very simple. He boiled the detoxification grass in water, mixed it with sliced Ganoderma lucidum and licorice. He came out in less than half an hour. After the medicinal soup cooled down a little, he let the young man drink it. After a short while, his stomach began to grumble. The child's complexion was not good, and his face was covered in sweat. What happened? My stomach hurts. I have diarrhea. The toilet is outside. The role of the detoxification grass was to detoxify. This kind of licorice root could detoxify part of the toxins in the human body. At the same time, it had another role, which was to expel the toxins that it could not detoxify from the body quickly through various methods. The simplest way was to defecate and urinate. The child had diarrhea and squatted in the toilet for nearly half an hour before he came out. "How do you feel?" Wang Yao asked with a smile. "My stomach is empty. I'm hungry." The child's answer was honest. "Hungry?" Wang Yao was stunned. He didn't expect the child to answer like that. "Does your body still hurt?" The child was stunned. He just realized that it seemed that he had not been in pain for a while. "Yes, it seems that it hasn't hurt for a while." "That's good. Let's go. I'll treat you to dinner," Wang Yao said with a smile. "How can that be?" The child's father said. He had brought his child here to see a doctor. He had seen the doctor give his child a dose of medicine, and then the child had diarrhea. Regardless of the effect, the doctor had taken good care of the child. Moreover, the kind man named Wang Mingbao had paid for the father and son's travel expenses. Now, the doctor wanted to treat the father and son to a meal. "I'll treat you. Master Gong, listen to me here. It's my treat," Wang Mingbao said with a smile. He knew about the family situation. They were very poor. Usually, they could not afford to eat or wear at home. This could be seen from the father and son's clothes. Moreover, the economy in Shangjuan was not developed, and their village was known as a poor village. They really did not have much money. This time, they only brought a few hundred yuan with them. The place they chose was very simple. It was the restaurant in the village. "This child needs to eat more bland food," Wang Yao said. His body had just expelled the toxins. He couldn't eat anything too greasy. His organs had been affected by the toxins. His digestive ability was very weak. "Got it." They ordered a few dishes, which were all relatively bland. The meat was easily digested river prawns. In addition, they ordered a chicken and a mushroom soup. "Eat." "Okay." The child had never eaten so many dishes. He didn't eat anything else but the roast chicken. "Haha, your digestive ability is still poor. Eat less. Eat more of this." Wang Yao pointed at the mushroom soup with a smile. "We often eat this," the child said. Wang Yao smiled and didn't say anything more. These things were only temporary enjoyment. He was afraid that he would have diarrhea when he went back at night. However, even if it was only temporary enjoyment, it was still good. After the meal, it was already dark. Next, it was time to arrange things for the father and son. This was easy. Wang Mingbao had 4 large tile-roofed houses at home. They could live there after tidying up. "Thank you so much, Manager Wang." The middle-aged man, surnamed Gong, had tears in his eyes. He didn't know what to say. Ziqiang quickly cowed to Manager Wang and Dr. Wang. He said to his son beside him. The child knelt on the ground with a thud. "Hey, you can't do that. Get up quickly." Wang Yao grabbed the child. The father and son followed Wang Mingbao back to his house. After settling down, Wang Mingbao came out again to talk to Wang Yao by the river. "What's the matter with this child?" Wang Yao asked. "I happened to meet him when I went to Shangjuan," Wang Mingbao said with a smile. "Then you became merciful?" "No, it's not something that can be explained in a few words." "Is the child okay?" "It would be troublesome if he came a few days later," Wang Yao said with a smile. "There is more than one child in the village school with this problem." "What?" Wang Yao frowned after hearing that. "More than one, but his condition is more serious." "How many children are there?" "About 40 to 50. So many." Wang Yao looked at the river under the night sky. After a long time, he looked up and asked, "Are you free?" "Why?" "I want to have a look," Wang Yao said. "Okay, no problem." If he did not know about this matter, it would be another matter. But now that he knew, these children might be in danger. He was not a saint. This was a subconscious thought. Perhaps if it were another doctor, they might also want to take a look. The most important thing for a medical practitioner was not superb medical skills, but the heart to practice medicine to help the world. When? Tomorrow. Wang Yao thought for a moment. Okay, tomorrow it is. After returning home, Wang Yao told his parents about the family situation. His parents did not have the slightest objection. They were unanimous in their support. "Okay, how do I get there?" "Let's drive. It's more convenient to have a car," Wang Yao said. The journey was thousands of miles. It would probably take a few days to go back and forth. "Be careful on the road." "Okay, I have to go up the mountain." After giving his parents a massage to relax their muscles and bones, he went up the mountain. This time, he needed some things to go to Shangjuan. Licorice roots, detoxification grass, could detoxify hundreds of poisons. This was what he had to bring. He only pinched off a leaf of each plant. In this way, they could continue to grow until they bore seeds and fruits. Shanjing. He carefully dug up one. Its stem was like a potato, but it was much smaller. The ones that he had planted a while ago were just like chicken eggs. It's a pity to use it now. This time, he dug up 2 shanjing. Because it was the root, once it was dug out, it could not grow. The main part of the shanjing was the root. The stem and leaf could also be used as medicine, but the efficacy was much lower. Anyway, it was better than nothing. He also put it in the grid of the system. Except for these 2 licorice roots, he did not touch the others. The night was getting darker. In a mountain village, in Wang Mingbao's house, Gong Aigua and his father were lying on the calm. "Father, why do you think Manager Wang is so good to us?" "How do I know? We met a living bodhisattva." "Yes." "What was a bodhisattva?" "It was a god who saved people from suffering." This was what the children heard from the old people in the village. It was the best god. At this moment, Gong Aigua was thinking about how to repay Manager Wang. "By the way, Ziqiang, does your body still hurt?" "Yes, but it's much worse." "Oh, Dr. Wang's medicine is effective," said Wang Yao. "Yes, the doctors in the county can't cure it." In Gong Aigua's eyes, the doctors in the county were already very good. In fact, he only went to the county a few times a year. This time, if his body was not so painful, he would not go to the hospital in the county, let alone the city. They did not have the money to go. Chapter 389. Are we going back tomorrow? Yes, Wang Yao said. Yes, the food today was delicious, Wang Yao said. Children were always innocent. Yes, Wang Yao said. The conditions here are much better than where we are, Gong Aigua said. He might be laughed at if he said that. No one would believe him. In his hometown, people were reluctant to eat meat. Occasionally, people in the village would kill a pig for meat. Usually, people raised pigs for money. In the morning, the father and son got up early. Wang Mingbao also got up early. He made some simple food. After eating, he took the father and son to Wang Yao's clinic. From afar, he saw Wang Yao coming down from the mountain. Dr. Wang came up the mountain so early? Wang Yao asked. He usually lives on the mountain, Wang Yao said. What do you mean by living on the mountain? Wang Yao asked. Yes, Wang Mingbao said. After meeting, they packed up a little and decided to set off. They drove Wang Yao's car. They had discussed it the night before. This time, they would travel thousands of miles. The two of them would take turns to drive. Moreover, Wang Yao's car had better performance. It was comfortable to sit in and could also travel on the mountain roads. Before leaving, Wang Yao said goodbye to his family. After all, it was a long trip. His parents would definitely miss him. The car sped on the highway. Shanjuan was a poor place in Qinzhou. It was thousands of miles away from Hike. Wang Yao had never been to Qinzhou. This time, he had traveled thousands of miles and met thousands of people. Are you tired? If you are, I'll attend the meeting. I'm fine. Wang Yao smiled. It had only been 3 hours. With his current ability and body, he would not feel tired even if he drove for 3 days. When the car got onto the highway, it sped along at full speed. Rumble. The stomach of the child behind him started growling again. Are you hungry? Wang Yao asked. Yes, a little, Gong Ziqiang said with an embarrassed smile. Let's find a place to eat, Wang Yao said. After driving for a short distance, they arrived at the rest area of the highway. They drove in, had some food, and took a break. The quality of the food in this resting area was average, but the father and son ate with relish. After all, compared to the food in the village, this kind of food was already considered delicious. They first arrived at Bingzhou City and prepared to spend the night there before continuing their journey. Bingzhou City was an ancient city with more than 4,000 years of history. However, the development speed of this city in the past 10 years couldn't be compared to the coastal cities of the East Sea. However, the historical foundation was still there. This city had a heavy feeling. After dinner, they strolled around the city. The night scene in the city had its own charm. I'll come here again when I come back, Wang Yao said to Wang Mingbao with a smile. This was a place he had never been to before. Since he was passing by, he might as well stay for a couple of days to take a closer look. Traveling was also a form of cultivation. Sure, Wang Mingbao said as he lit a cigarette. Actually, he didn't place much importance on money. After strolling around, they returned to the hotel to sleep for a night. After recovering their energy, they continued their journey. When they arrived in Shangjuan, it was almost noon the next day. Gong Aigua's home was still quite a distance from Shangjuan. After lunch, they continued their journey. After passing through a section of the asphalt road, the road began to become bumpy. The cement road was very heavy, but it was very crushed. Fortunately, Wang Yao's car was very good at passing. The last section of the road directly turned into a dirt road. When it was close to evening, Wang Yao and his group arrived at the mountain village where Gong Aigua lived. It was a village at the foot of the mountain. They could vaguely hear the sound of chickens and dogs barking. Looking at the low houses, they didn't see many new ones. The roads were not hardened. Looking at the villagers' clothes on the road, this village was indeed poor. We're here. Wang Mingbao's face was full of joy and expectation. Wang Yao was actually a little curious. Why did Wang Mingbao come to such a remote mountain area and have such an expression? If it was just a coincidence, it would be a bit unreasonable. Manager Wang, Dr. Wang, would you like to come to my house for dinner tonight? Okay. They didn't come empty-handed before going to the mountain. They bought a lot of things, mainly food. It was not a problem to make a sumptuous dinner. Let's go see the children first. Wang Yao was anxious to see the children who might also be poisoned. I'm afraid they have already gone home by now, Gong Aigua said. Let's go to the school and have a look, Wang Mingbao said. Okay, let's go and have a look. The school was built in the flattest place in the village. It was a courtyard with a flagpole in the middle. A red flag was flying on it. Further behind was a two-story building, which should be the teaching building. It was the tallest building in the village. It was very conspicuous compared to the low houses. As Gong Aigua said, the students had already gone home after school. Well, I'm going to find someone. After speaking, Wang Mingbao went to the teaching building. Find someone. Wang Yao was stunned. He must have gone to find Ms. Han. Ms. Han? Yes, our language teacher. She's very nice, Gong Ziqiang said. A woman? Wang Yao asked almost subconsciously. Yes, she's not only nice, but also beautiful. Oh, Wang Yao instantly understood. But how do they know each other? After a while, Wang Mingbao and a woman came down from the teaching building. She was a very gentle woman. This was the first impression she gave people. She was not very beautiful, but she was very pleasant to look at. Her eyes were very bright. She was dressed simply and was a little thin. She was about 25 or 26 years old. Let me introduce you. This is my brother, Wang Yao. This is Ms. Han, Han Jia. Hello, nice to meet you. Hello. They had dinner in Gong Aigua's country. Because they had brought enough food, they only cooked a few simple home-cooked dishes. Gong Ziqiang's mother also looked thin. This was probably a common characteristic of the villagers. Transportation was inconvenient, and there was not enough income. Naturally, the material life was not rich enough. There was no hotel in the village. The nearest hotel was in town, which was nearly 20 minutes away. Therefore, they could only stay at a villager's house for the night. For them, Gong Aigua took out the new quilt that he had kept for many years. No, it's really not necessary. In the evening, Wang Mingbao took the initiative to talk to Wang Yao about his experience with Han Jia. They got to know each other through a chance encounter on a website. Han Jia came to the mountainous area to teach. At the same time, she was a member of a charitable student organization. She met Wang Mingbao during an online fundraising event. The two of them talked. Then, Wang Mingbao came here and saw Han Jia. The first time I saw her, I had a feeling that she was the woman I was looking for. Wang Mingbao described his first encounter with Gu Shijiao in such a straightforward manner. Where's she from? Wang Yao asked. Bingzhou. She has been teaching here for 3 years. The children here like her very much. The people in the village also like her very much. I also like her. Huh? Wang Yao laughed. Hey, what do you think of her? My first impression of her is very good. Wang Yao was telling the truth. Hanja did give him a very good first impression. She had a kind of gentle and intellectual beauty. She was able to choose to teach in such a poor place and give up the superior life in the big city. Such an action in itself was worthy of praise. But she has a boyfriend, Wang Mingbao said. She has a boyfriend? Wang Yao asked. Yes, but he went to Jing. He only comes back a few times a year. I can take advantage of the situation, Wang Mingbao said. Did she say yes? No. Wang Mingbao's tone did not have the slightest disappointment. She will say yes, he said confidently. You have to take it easy. This is Qinzhou, not Lianshan County. What are you talking about? I am chasing a wife, not looking for trouble. Both of them slept very comfortably. The next day, both of them woke up very early. They found that Gong Aigua had caught a hen that laid eggs at home and was about to kill it. Hey, Brother Gong, don't kill it. Wang Yao saw the situation and stopped him in time. Gong Aigua's family did not have much income. There were only a few livestock. Keeping it could support the family. If he could not kill it, he would not kill it. How can I do that? There is nothing to entertain you at home. I said, you don't have to do that. Wang Yao had homemade noodles and fried eggs for breakfast. They tasted quite good. After breakfast, Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao went to school. There was only one principal and 5 teachers in the school. They taught 45 students from grade 1 to primary school graduation. There were also children from several nearby villages who came to school. Dr. Wang is going to give the children a free physical examination. The principal, who was in his 50s, was very happy after hearing the news. In fact, he had been worried about the children's affairs recently. More than a dozen children in the school said that their bodies hurt, but they could not find anything. In fact, there were a few children who did not go out to check at all. This caused his already white hair to turn white within a few days. Yes. Good. Thank you so much. Wang Yao took out his medical qualification certificate, which dispelled the last doubts of the old principal. However, the way Wang Yao examined the children surprised the principal and several teachers. Pulse reading? Chinese medicine. Wang Yao did use the 4 ancient methods of diagnosis. His inspection speed was relatively fast. He was one person. In the morning, he finished inspecting all the students. Then, he confirmed that there were 12 children who had been poisoned. There are toxins in their bodies. They need to be cleaned, Wang Yao said. At first, the old headmaster didn't trust Wang Yao's treatment method. However, after seeing more than a dozen children, he believed Wang Yao's treatment method. It was just that some of the children had been in severe pain recently. They also had diarrhea and diarrhea. How should I treat them? Find me a pot. I'll boil some medicine for them. Okay. Chapter 390. In a big pot, the hot water was boiling. Shanjing, licorice, and Ganoderma lucidum. After boiling for a while, when it was about time, he turned off the fire and put in a few pieces of antidote grass. The color of the medicinal soup immediately changed. It was emerald green, like jade. Let the children drink it. 1 cup for each of them. It doesn't need to be too much, Wang Yao said. Okay. The children all drank it. In less than 10 minutes, they saw the effect. One by one, they rushed to the toilet. They all had diarrhea. What? Dr. Wang, will these children be okay? They're fine. This is a normal detoxification reaction. Store these medicines first. They need to take them a few more times. Okay. The principal led a few teachers to find 2 thermos bottles to store the unfinished medicinal soup. After the children were detoxified, Wang Yao checked them again. After confirming that there was no problem, he told the old principal. Then, they continued to go back to class. Wang Yao was thinking about the poison in their bodies. More than a dozen children were not an exception. Then, this matter was not a coincidence. By the way, Principal Gong, do these children have anything in common? Common ground? The old principal thought about it carefully. Hey, they're all from this village. They're all from this village. Yes, the old principal thought and said with certainty. Then, other than these children, are there other people in your village who have such a reaction? Yes, there are a few adults in the village who have the same situation, but it's a little worse, the old principal said, after thinking carefully. Who are they? Can you take me to see them? Okay. The old principal led the way in front. Wang Yao and the others followed behind. They searched house by house. One house, two houses. The old principal looked up at the sky and said to Wang Yao, Look, Dr. Wang, you're already very tired from seeing the children today. Why don't we look for them in the afternoon and have dinner first? Okay. Wang Yao didn't care about it, but he thought that the old woman was so old. She had accompanied him for the whole morning and didn't even have time to drink a sip of water. She must be exhausted and should sit down or rest. All right, I've already arranged it. Let's eat at my house. Sorry to disturb you. Not at all. This old principal was originally from this village. He only had one wife at home. His children all had other jobs and had left the village. 6 dishes and 1 soup. There were 2 meat dishes, braised pork and steamed fish. There was still hope with the dishes, but the wine was good. Fun wine and blue and white porcelain. I usually can't bear to drink this wine, the old principal said with a smile. After 2 glasses of wine, the old man opened his mouth. He had been teaching in this mountain village for 34 years. At first, he wanted to go out and work, but when he saw that the children in this village had no place to go to school and no one to teach them, he felt that it was not a good thing, so he stayed. At the beginning, there were only a few broken houses. The rain leaked in summer and the wind leaked in winter. I don't know much. Some knowledge still needs to be learned and taught. The old man took a sip of wine and sighed. It's not easy, Wang Yao said. He had not experienced such a situation. When he was in primary school, his classroom was also square. It was very cold in winter. However, no matter how cold it was still better than the house the old man mentioned. In such an environment, there was not much revenge. He was afraid that he would have to pay for it. The old man had stayed for more than 30 years. Such a dedication made Wang Yao very moved and admire him. Such a person and such a character were very rare in such a materialistic society. Cheers! Wang Yao picked up the wine glass and drank it up. Over the years, he had come into contact with many people, but there were only a few people that he really admired. This old man was one of them. You have a bad spleen and stomach. You should drink less wine, Wang Yao said after putting down the wine glass. Hey, how do you know that? The old man asked with some surprise. I'm a pharmacist. A pharmacist? Aren't you a doctor? Oh, you can understand it that way. Wang Yao smiled. Hey, I can't change it. It's just a hobby over the years, the old man said with a smile. Well, since it's a hobby, it's good to keep it. Wang Yao smiled after listening. I'll show it to you later. Okay. The more Principal Gong, Wang Yao, and Wang Mingbao talked, the happier they were. In fact, it was mainly Wang Mingbao's credit. Wang Yao was not very good at driving the atmosphere, but Wang Mingbao was a master at the table. Everyone liked to hear compliments, but how to say it was a kind of art. During the conversation, Wang Yao learned that the current school was built with the donation of a student who had left here. He is also a person who knows how to repay kindness. Yes, the old man said. More than a decade ago, more than 500,000 was not a small number, the old man said. The meal lasted until 3 p.m., and the old principal did not forget the business. He said that he wanted to take Wang Yao to the village to continue to have a look, but he was persuaded to stay at home by Wang Yao. He could see that the old principal was obviously drunk. Auntie, shall I cook something for Mr. Gong to relieve his hangover? Wang Yao came to the kitchen and asked the old woman, who was still busy. Okay. The old woman was very kind. Wang Yao took out a few pieces of Ganoderma lucidum and boiled water. It's a pity that it's missing some honey. After hearing Wang Yao's words, the old woman took out a bottle of honey from the cupboard at the side. It seemed to be wild. Well, wild honey, good stuff. Hey, if you like it, I'll give it to you. I'm just saying, Wang Yao hurriedly said. Ganoderma lucidum was boiled with honey. A soup to relieve the hangover was not that complicated. Well, it's quite comfortable after drinking it, Mr. Gong said after drinking it. That's good. After he rested for a while and sobered up a little, they began to look for the children's homes again. Wang Yao could detoxify the poison in those children, but he did not know the cause of the poisoning. What if they continued to be poisoned after he left? Therefore, he had to determine the cause of their poisoning while detoxifying the poison. More than a dozen children from different families. Wang Yao visited them one by one, and he did find that their families were poisoned. They were not the only ones. There were other people in the village who were in the same situation, but there were still some people who were not. What was going on? Wang Yao did not have any ideas for the time being. It was late at night. They still had to spend the night in the mountain village. At night, the two brothers lay on the Kong bed and chatted first. Have you found out anything? Not yet. Then we have to stay here for a few more days. Yes, if we leave like this, they might relapse, Wang Yao said. Besides, isn't this what you want? Haha. Wang Mingbao laughed after hearing that. In the past 2 days, he had been accompanying Wang Yao and spending more time at school with teacher Han Jia. Although the gentle girl spent most of the day teaching children, he was willing to wait. He waited outside the classroom to listen to her lecture and listen to her solve problems for the children. Just listening to her voice and looking at her was enough. People in love. Wang Yao sighed. For some reason, he thought of Tong Wei. However, in his dream that night, he dreamed of another scene. Under the peach blossom tree, a beautiful woman in white was dancing lightly. He could not see her face clearly, but her dancing posture was extremely beautiful. She must also be beautiful. Sir, a voice said. Oh, her face was covered with a veil. Sir, would you like to dance with me? The voice was also very pleasant to hear. But I don't know how to dance. I'll teach you. The two people, under the blooming peach blossoms, gently danced. The peach blossom dance was full of love, and the beauty was beautiful. A gust of wind blew, the peach blossoms rose, and the veil fell. You are? Oh, the rooster crowed. Wang Yao woke up from his dream. Hiss, what a strange dream. Who was the person who appeared in his dream? The moment the veil fell, he woke up. It was early in the morning, and the sky was still a little dark. There was no other sound except for the rooster crowing. The early morning in the mountain village was particularly quiet. Chapter 391. Wang Yao practiced Chinese boxing in the yard after he got up. He went out after practicing Chinese boxing. He wanted to walk around the village to see if he could find anything. He didn't find anything unusual during his inspection the day before. There were two sources of toxins in the human body. One was produced by the body's metabolism. The other was from external ingestion. There were many ways to get toxins. Diseases came from the mouth. Eating and drinking were the main ways. There were also infections from wounds, skin contact, and so on. When Wang Yao woke up in the morning, the villagers were already busy. He saw a few people carrying water to their homes. Water? Wang Yao suddenly stopped. Brother, where did you get the water? Wang Yao stopped a middle-aged man and asked. The well in the village. Well, water? Yes. Where's the well in the village? Oh, it's just in front. I'll take you there. The man was very enthusiastic. Soon, they came to a well in the village. There were people carrying water. Is there no running water in the village? No. Who did? The man asked with a smile. It's good to drink the well water. Wang Yao looked at the location of the well and then raised his head to take a look. Can I have a sip? Why not? Drink as much as you want, but the well water is very cold at this time. It's not good to drink too much. I just want to taste it. Wang Yao scooped a little with his hand and put it into his mouth. Well, something's wrong. He spat out the water. What's wrong? The man was stunned. The water is poisonous. Poisonous? What kind of poison? The man was shocked. The children in the village don't feel well. It's probably because they drank the water, Wang Yao said. That's impossible. I've been drinking this water for more than 30 years. There's no problem, the man said. He thought the young man was talking nonsense. More than 30 years. Yes, that's strange, but there's really something wrong with this water. Don't drink it. After this period of cultivation and the help of the system, his 5 senses had multiplied, far surpassing that of ordinary people. Through the test just now, he could confirm that there was poison in the water. He couldn't tell what it was exactly, but drinking it would definitely cause poisoning. Hey, I have to go home and cook. The man carried the water and walked home. Please wait. What else do you want? The man said impatiently. He had brought the other party here out of goodwill, but the other party said that the water was poisonous. It was an exaggeration. Is this the only well in our village? No, there's one more. It's on the east side. The man pointed in that direction. Big brother, listen to my advice. There's really something wrong with this water. You can't drink it anymore. Hey, I have to go home and cook. The man waved his hand and left with the water, ignoring Wang Yao. Wang Yao found another well. Many people came to fetch water. Wang Yao took a sip. Well, that's strange. He found that there was no problem with the water in this well. What's going on? There were two wells in a village. They were only about 100 meters away from each other. The water in the wells was actually underground water. Logically speaking, the underground water should be connected. Why did one well have a problem, but the other well had no problem? With doubts, Wang Yao walked around the village carefully. He didn't find any abnormalities, but the water in the well was indeed not drinkable. After a long time, the toxins would accumulate in the body, and there would definitely be problems. The children's homes were near the problematic well, so they must have drunk a lot of water from there. Wang Yao went back and told Headmaster Gong about this matter. Is what you said true? The old man took this matter very seriously. Of course it's true, Wang Yao said. In fact, it's very simple to confirm. You just need to take a water sample to the inspection and quarantine department in the county or Shangjuan for testing. However, it will take some time. During this time, it's better not to drink the water from the well. Okay, leave this matter to me, Headmaster Gong said. He then went out. Less than half an hour after he went out, the loudspeaker in the village began to broadcast, telling the villagers to stop drinking the water from the well. Very efficient. Wang Mingbao listened to the broadcast and smiled. Efficient and prestigious, Wang Yao said. Being able to persuade the village party secretary in such a short time showed that his prestige in the village was very high. If it were an ordinary person, the village party secretary might not have cared. After all, this well had a history of decades. Why did something happen when these people came? The remaining problem was to send the water sample to the county or the city for testing. This required money, vehicles, and people. In fact, the villagers usually didn't go to the city, let alone Shangjuan. They also didn't know where the inspection and quarantine department was, how to test, and what indicators to test. In the end, Wang Yao went there personally. He spent more than 2 hours to go to the inspection and quarantine center in Shangjuan. What kind of tests? Full analysis, chemical and biological, to see if there are any toxic and harmful substances. In the end, Wang Yao paid a fee of a few hundred yuan. He had to wait for 5 days to get the results. 5 days? Yes, it takes time to culture microorganisms, the staff member said. Can you hurry up? I'm in a hurry. I need more money. No problem. Wang Yao paid a few hundred yuan to expedite the processing. He then left the staff member's phone number so that he could call for more information. 5 days was a little long. In addition to the time spent traveling, Wang Yao and the others had to stay there for about 10 days. It was beyond Wang Yao's plan. It was better to be 1 day earlier. When they were still on the way from Shangjuan to the mountain village, there was a legend about them in the small village. The mountain village was not big. It didn't take long to find out who had a rare guest. Wang Yao's car was a little eye-catching. It was rare to see such a good-looking car in the village. What they did after they arrived also had an impact. First, they gave the children in the school a free physical examination and gave medicine to more than a dozen children. The next day, they sealed the old well in the village that had been there for at least a few decades with the help of Principal Gong. Then, they sent the water sample to the city for testing. They had never heard of these things. Hey, I've seen that young man before. He's very handsome. Is he really a doctor? I heard that he took the children's pulse and gave them medicinal decoction. Isn't that Chinese medicine? My son came back and said that he had diarrhea after taking the medicine he made at school. He had diarrhea twice when he came home. My daughter also had diarrhea. Do you think he knows how to treat patients? Could it be that he has other motives? What purpose could he have? He didn't ask for a penny. The people in the village were more suspicious of the doctor who had suddenly arrived. It was already afternoon when Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao returned to the remote mountain village. Where are we going? After entering the mountain village, they were a little embarrassed. Whose house should they go to? Hey, why don't we go to school? Okay. On the way, they heard the school bell ringing. When they got closer, they heard the sound of children reading. It sounded very familiar to Wang Yao. He hadn't heard such a sound for a long time. Wang Mingbao had his sweetheart, so he went straight to her classroom. Wang Yao walked around the school. He stood on the school playground and looked out. He could see some rugged roads leading to the village in the distance. Dr. Wang, you're back? Principal Gong saw Wang Yao on the second floor and came down to greet him with a smile. Yes, we just came back. How are the results of the examination? It will take some time. The results haven't come out yet. Oh, would you like to come to my office? Sure. By the way, how are the children? I asked. They are a little better than yesterday, but they are still having diarrhea, Principal Gong said. Well, this is the effect of the medicine. It will be better in 2 days, Wang Yao said. Wang Yao stayed in his office for a while until he heard the bell ring. It's my turn next class. You can do whatever you want. Okay, go ahead. Wang Yao was a little surprised. He didn't expect the old man to have classes. After class, the children liked to play in the front yard. After all, they were still young. They were all children. It was their nature to play. They were very happy to run and jump in the yard. Wang Yao went downstairs and observed the dozen children who had taken the medicine yesterday. Dr. Wang. Gong Ziqiang ran to Wang Yao's side and looked up with a smile. Hello, Ziqiang. Hello, Dr. Wang. Why didn't you come to my house for lunch this afternoon? Oh, I had other things to do, so I didn't go. How are you? Do you feel better? Well, I feel much better. My body doesn't hurt so much. I also like to eat. Thank you. That's good. Ziqiang. At this time, a child called his name. I'll go play then. Okay. Well, it seemed to be better than yesterday. Wang Yao walked around the children, playing in a secret circle. What is your friend doing? On the second floor, Wang Mingbao and Han Jia looked at the children below. He is observing those children, especially those who took the medicine yesterday. See if they're better. Did you go to Shangjuan today? Yes, we took the water sample from the well in the village for testing. Wang Yao said the water was poisonous. Is it really poisonous? If he says it is, then it is. Do you trust him that much? Han Jia asked with a smile. He won't joke about this kind of thing, and his medical skills are really excellent. Will those children be okay? Han Jia had been teaching here for 3 years and had a deep relationship with the children in the mountain. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.